Welcome everybody. We got Doug already up in the house over the GTRC YouTube saying hello. Tim Gray coming in with that like. What a lovely fella he is, I gotta say. So, welcome everybody. Hey Doug, how you doing, my guy? So, interesting little day today we have here for you. A, way earlier stream than everybody's used to. And B, we got two races for you here today. So, we're going to start off with the GTRC, the Gran Turismo Racing Community. And this is the round 4 of their GR4 Silvia Touring Championship, ladies and gentlemen. So it's been a really cracking series here so far. And I suspect that the race here at the Nurburgring GP is going to be no different here today. Always provides for great side-by-side racing as well. It's a little bit of a small field today as it was a holiday in the UK this past weekend when the race took place. So that doesn't change the fact that there's still going to potentially be great racing on the racetrack. Nuclear Clutch coming in over the GTRC saying hello. How you doing, my man? Much love, much love. So, yeah, we're going to get with this in just a minute here. We're a little bit early just so we can talk to all you amazing folks. We miss you guys. So, really glad to be able to get these broadcasts out here this week, as obviously these guys have a GR3 race tomorrow afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, at 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and that's actually going to be broadcast by Tatiana tomorrow, as we're going to jump in a race car and we're going to jump on track and we're going to test ourselves up against these guys a little bit. So that's going to be really fun. So that'll be tomorrow live, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the GTRC YouTube and over on Tatiana's Twitch channel, which of course will pin all those links in the stream while we're live streaming our version of the race tomorrow as well, so you guys will know where to find that broadcast. Alright, so we got that. Second race today, ladies and gentlemen, is the OFR, so Online Formula Racing, GT7 North American Division, and it's run by the Apex Racing Team member Badass. And of course, Apex Racing sponsors that league as well. And that's round 7 of that series, ladies and gentlemen. That's been a pretty interesting series so far as well. But the twist on this particular race for round 7 for OFR is it's a one-make GR3 Beetle race at Autopolis short. Fun car to drive, fun little racetrack. Again, another racetrack that provides pretty decent racing. So both these races today should be absolutely fantastic viewing, as we know all the drivers in every league that we broadcast for are just top level drivers, and they just fly, and they're there to please, man. They're there to please. They're there to put on a show for all you amazing viewers out here week in and week out, and we do appreciate it. Paulie B coming in with the heart on his Facebook as well. Much love, Paul. We appreciate you, my guy. Hey, GT45 represent. Alright, well, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple minutes left. So let's get through some details on the race we're going to see first, which is GTRC race. Again, the Group 4 Silvia Touring Championship, and this is at the Nurburgring GP. It's going to be a 50-minute endurance race, I believe it is, because it needs to be rebroadcast. So a little bit of a change for these drivers for the last couple of races due to them bending a little bit for myself, GT45 Gaming, with moving. So appreciate you guys over the GTRC. Love you guys, drivers, appreciate everybody understanding. And let's rock out a great comms here for you guys today. So we're going to jump over to the live screen shortly. Medium tires only in this series, ladies and gentlemen, so the drivers cannot use the softs, they cannot use the racing hards. Their only racing tire option is the racing mediums. However, there is no limit to the amount of tires that the drivers are allowed to use. There's no limit to the amount of fuel that the drivers are allowed to use. There's no limit to how many times these guys can stop. There's no pit window. So essentially it just comes down to what these guys feel is going to work out best for their own strategy based off training, practice, testing, etc., etc. It's 3 times wear for tires, and it's 3 times fuel consumption. So essentially the 50-minute race turns into a 3-hour race, a little shy of 2.5. And that's what the multiplier means, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a little bit confused when you hear us talk about 3 times or 4 times or 6 times tire wear and fuel consumptions, you see some of the leagues have different models for their restrictions for their leagues. Essentially, just you're doing a longer distance race in a shorter amount of time is basically what that works out to, ladies and gentlemen. But we are on time here when the stream's supposed to start. We're going to flip you guys over. Oh. All right. So here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give a shout out to Judy Haddock as well. coming in with the big time follow off stream, and we had another gaming page follow as well. I just can't remember off the top of my head. We'll get that shout out later. We really do appreciate all the support and everything here at GT45 Gaming. But as we can see, ladies and gentlemen, we got the camera guy on track as we get this lovely perk of rebroadcasting, so we can kind of take a little walk up and down the grid. It's a little bit choppy today. So we're starting off here with a stop-in driver, and Tetsudo, I believe his name is. He Belgium or German driver, and sitting here on pole. So that's a really great looking livery, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. He came all out for this race here today, and clearly a quick driver sitting on pole. When you got drivers like Doug sitting here in second place, we know Doug's very quick, ladies and gentlemen, and you can see him in his classic blue and kind of blue-greeny Falcon livery here. I really love this one. Actually, it looks so sharp when it's running down the track. And we move down into third place here. My memory does not serve me correctly, so I can't quite remember whose car this is. So they're starting in third place. We'll get through the grid. We'll go through the grid list before we start the race. Moving down to fourth place here, we got Hair Razor in his typical Costa. Just a little bit of a different coloring scheme on it here, but these guys do a fantastic job on these liveries. Absolutely fantastic. We're moving down a little further here. I believe we got Supra here. Yeah, it is Supra. Thanks for putting your names on the cars, guys. I really love it when you do that. And it just, again, so clean, so crisp, very to the point liveries, these guys. And they just look fantastic on the track in motion. Moving down, we got, we don't even need to know whose car this is, ladies and gentlemen. All the Tron Colby fans out there knows that Tron Colby is a Cleveland Browns fan. So he's back in his classic livery here today. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Showing a little hometown pride, I'm guessing. And then we move down, we got Monkey Mafia here. And again, another driver I don't even need to see the name on the car. It's just you recognize these liveries and you know it's EDA. And I know that it's Monkey Mafia in this case. Again, Drink Alchemy Esports, ladies and gentlemen. A fantastic livery. And he's got a different little spoiler setup on the car here today, making it look a little more like a street style car. We keep moving down here. I believe this is Type R here, and he's just got that nice clean classic black that we always see from Type R here. Moving down the field and finishing off our field here in 9th place today, ladies and gentlemen, is Anto, and another EDA driver. He's been we've been seeing Anto a lot around the circuits and the leagues lately. He's really been putting the time in here, and he's really starting to show some great pace. So it's going to be interesting to see what all these guys have in store for us here today. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's not hold the process up. Let's get to racing, shall we? Hey, what's up, Sharkbait? How you doing, my guy? All right, so let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. We're waiting for reds, green, and wow, that was quick. So the race is on. Here we go. And a good start here by Doug. As Doug's going to go up beside Tetsudo here. And that's a really cool name, by the way. I like the name. But Doug's got the inside track coming into T1 here, so he might be able to get that position. As Tetsudo tried to defend a little bit there, but he does end up going wide. So Doug's going to take P1 here from Tetsudo, but with that little bit of going wide there, that allowed third place driver Hair Razor to really close in there. But Hair Razor under pressure from Key, and Key has been very clutch so far here in the series. And he's looking inside, coming through Mercedes Arena here. So probably one of the toughest parts of Nürburgring GP, ladies and gentlemen, is 100% the Mercedes Arena here. Let's make sure our audio's all good. Everything's looking fantastic. We got Billy coming in there with the thumbs up as well. How you doing, Billy? Appreciate all the support, everybody. Hope everybody's on a fantastic day. Supra here in 5th place. You can see the top 5 drivers still very close to each other here. Monkey Mafia's been showing great pace here too as he's been progressing through this series. Really starting to come in with some great results here. We got Anto here as well. He's moved up a couple of spots into P7. Trone losing out a little bit there, dropping down into P8, and Type R just in the back of the field there. So we missed what happened there, but Doug has taken the race lead, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately with GT7, we don't have live action replays available to us yet. So, yeah, what do? We just got to go with it, man. But Doug now up into P1, getting around Tetsudo there. And you can see the group is just all right there. Everybody's still within a couple seconds apart from front to back here. So looking like a good start to the race here. Didn't see any major contact or any major incidents, obviously, in T1. No red flags were called, which is always a good thing. Dennis Miller, let's go. Hey, much love, everybody. Appreciate everybody tuning in, man. It was Key that you couldn't recognize. Facts, nuclear facts. Vic coming in with the big thumbs up as well. So, Doug, as Doug does best, trying to jump out to an early lead and put a gap on the field here. The question is if Doug can hold it. Doug's got some quick drivers behind him, and they are not letting him get away here. We got Tetsudo. He is right there on his bumper, and then Key right behind on his bumper there, and then Hairraiser right behind Key. Bad camera angle there, just catching the great shot right there as we coming around our second lap here. Coming into T1, is anything going to happen coming into T1 here? Ooh, we got a little bit of jostling going on here. So let's jump on board and let's see what's going down. You can't really see much out the back window of these Silvias here, as you can see with that spoiler and the roll cage there. But you can see a little bit of separation from 4th to 5th, 6th, and 7th there. So the pack kind of broke it up into two little groups here right now, and we're on board with our 4th place driver Hairraiser here, and this is kind of what it's looking like from his vantage point right now. And Hairraiser is a very calculated race car driver too as well, folks. So you know, he's going to play patient when he needs to be, and he's going to capitalize when he feels like he needs to. So we will see that from him. And there we go. We did see a mistake from Key as he got really wide there into the grass. So he's going to be struggling with a little bit of dirty tire syndrome here for a couple corners. It's going to allow Hairraiser really to close up on him. But again, Hairraiser's looking like he's just kind of playing it patient here. So let's jump on with Trone here as he's in 3rd place, trying to chase 1st and 2nd down, but he's also got this in the rear view mirror with Hairraiser kind of all over him here. But Key is has proven to be a very calm, patient race car driver here in the series so far. So probably knows that he's there, he's aware, but he's not hyper focused on what's going on behind him, as he is trying to not lose that group in front of him. We got a great battle here developing between Doug and Tetsudo here again. Tetsudo looking to respond after Doug grabbing P1 from him here a little earlier on in the race. And Doug's just trying to do everything he can to start to pull a gap on Tetsudo, but Tetsudo clearly showing that he has the pace here. So some tough battling going on very early on here for the top 4 guys. And you can see off in the distance there, you can see that P5 driver, Supra, starting to close up on that P3, P4 situation as well. So the few drivers that are on track today because of the holiday in the UK, these guys are already putting it all on the line for everybody. So fantastic stuff. Welcome everybody. We see you out there. We see you, Riley. I hope you're doing well, my guy. It's been a while. Haven't talked to you in a bit. Hope you're well, my friend. We see all of you out there. We appreciate you. Hope you're enjoying the viewing so far. So let's jump into our camera crew here. Let's let them do some work. Actually, let's get into this new camera angle here. As Tetsudo looks like he's going to make a bit of a move there, but let's take a look behind here. Well, these guys just had that tiny little attempted battle coming into T1. This is what it looks like now from behind here, as we've got Key and Hairraiser still knocking on the door here. So again, all these moves got to be very calculated. Mercedes, again, the Mercedes Arena, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely tough sector of the course here, but you can see these drivers can really utilize the track limits here, and that gives you a really great exit. You can come out with some really good speed there. And as we come around here, you just need to you don't need a lot of braking. It's a lot of light braking and a lot of coasting through this sector, but if you get it right, again, you maintain a lot of speed. You can see that the first 2 drivers here are doing a really good job of that, and they're actually just a slightly better than the drivers behind currently coming through that sector of the racetrack here. And then we come into this really hard braking point here. We got a long hairpin corner. And you can see Tetsudo's just absolutely putting on a racing line clinic here currently, ladies and gentlemen, as we're following with Tetsudo here. And I don't typically like to hang out on this chase cam very often, but it allows us to really take a look around what's going on around the driver in battles. So that's why you see us hang out here in a little bit more. But he is absolutely looking very clean, fast, and he is on the back of Doug currently here. He's putting the pressure on. These two are having a battle here, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be fantastic. Let's see what happens here. Let's keep with this. We got a purple lap here as well by Tetsudo. Of course, he's in that slipstream, so he's getting pulled along in a sense here too. But later, he's going to look inside here, but that's going to give him the outside line for the first part of the chicane. If he can hold it, though, he will have the inside for the next part. Let's see how it happens here. No, Doug gets a really great line through there. And Tetsudo just playing it smart. You see him, in a sense, back out, but not really back out. Just staying far enough behind where there's not going to be contacted. Now we're coming around the Coca-Cola curve. Final corner before the start-finish line here, ladies and gentlemen. And all these drivers for the podium positions are just on top of each other here. You can see the headlights are starting to come on. So it does look like that the sun is starting to go down here, so we might see some night driving as well here today, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be fantastic. But we see him trying the outside here. Is he going to get the job done on the outside? Maybe looking for a cutback here? No, but Hair are going for the over-under and just not quite able to stick that. A little bit, pushed it a little bit wide, as you can see. A little defense from Tetsudo there. Nice clean driving from these drivers here so far, as these guys are absolutely having a battle. Let's get on that chase cam. Let's get into some camera rotation here, as we just got so much going on. We can really take a look here. I mean, these top 4 drivers are really showing similar pace here. They're not letting each other get away. And is Tetsudo going to try to make the move here? No, because Doug is just taking the right... He's putting that car in the right spots right now. And he's basically making it so Tetsudo has to take that outside line. Oh, but Doug makes a mistake. That should be enough for Tetsudo to get a run on him here. Is he going to get it? Doug's going to go semi-defensive. He's going to make sure that he's not... He's just going to force him on that outside line. We do have this over-under opportunity here now, though, ladies and gentlemen. Is Tetsudo... No, Tetsudo is playing this very patiently. He's being very, very calm here. As we look behind, these other 2 drivers are right there. They're not letting the leaders get away here. So, a little bit of strategy coming into play, but he absolutely tried to take advantage of that. A little bit of a missed opportunity there. He did try to take advantage, but Doug gathered that up very quickly. So kudos to Doug there, as he does maintain the lead on Tetsudo for the time being. I'm not sure if this is going to stand here today. I feel like the lead is going to change some positions here throughout the race today. And let's go through our field really quick here. Let's go see where everybody else is at. We got Super in P5 here, and a little bit behind that front pack, but Monkey Mafia is right there behind, and you can see that the spectator mode is a little iffy here in Gran Turismo 7 currently. Tron in P7, we got Anto in P8, and he's right there. I mean, he's pushing. And Type R must have had an instant. He's a little bit behind the rest of these guys here. But back to that battle up in front here. I mean, this is where the action is, ladies and gentlemen, so we're definitely going to have to stick with this battle. And we seem to have lost Hair out of the equation a little bit here. Something has happened to Hair. He's lost a little bit of time, so potentially just making a mistake. And a mistake right now. Oh, 3 wide coming into T1. No shot. These guys are getting through here. We did see Tetsudo kind of back out a little bit there, but oh, Hair going to try and take advantage. He's got that run on the outside. Is he going to get around through Mercedes Arena here? It's going to be a very tough pass by Hair, but he gets the job done. So Hair moving up into P2. Great move by Hair there, ladies and gentlemen. Setting that up into T1, coming into the Mercedes Arena here. A little bit of a miscue from Tetsudo, and Hair was just there to pounce. So Hair now up into P2, trying to chase Doug down. Tetsudo trying to get back on the back end of Hair. So here we go. And you get, sorry, Key, not Hair Hair up in 4th place here. Ooh, we're rusty, Chad. We're rusty. These guys are just battling too hard. I can't get it correct. So Tetsudo, again, starting on pole position here, but it's seeming like he's just playing a little bit of the race strategy here too. He's not trying to battle too much so far from what we've seen. He's tried to take advantage of a couple small mistakes. Didn't get the job done and just settled back in. But now we see Key with a really crucial 1.5 second penalty here, ladies and gentlemen. And that is going to be... that's going to be tough for Key. That's going to probably set Key back. He's definitely going to lose P2 to Tetsudo behind, and he's potentially going to lose P4 or more. Also the Hair who's just behind this group here as well. So let's stick with Key here. Let's see how much time that 1.5 second really is going to cost him here as he comes around to this penalty serving zone. And this isn't a high-speed sector, so this is definitely going to hurt his pace here on this lap. So he does, of course, lose P2 there, as we knew was going to happen to Tetsudo. Doesn't seem to lose the position of Hair but now that allows Hair to get back into slipstream range here on Key. Now, again, that could be a benefit to Key here, as he lost probably 1.5 seconds to 1st and 2nd place. So now having Hair actually catch back up on him. If Hair and Key kind of work together a little bit here for a few laps, they should be able to hopefully catch that front pack. So let's see how these 2 drivers handle this now as the race progresses. We got Super coming into pit lane here very, very early. And I'm not sure why. He may have some damage potentially that he needs to get fixed, but or he's just on a different strategy than the rest of the drivers potentially. We got Tron coming around. Tron's going to take P6 as Super is entering pit lane. He's still waiting for Super to hit that pit box yet. Here we got Type R coming around as well, and Type R must have had made a mistake here somewhere. Again, he's just a little bit off the pace of the rest of the guys right now, but long race, ladies and gentlemen. We still have quite a ways to go here, so anything can happen. We all know as racers and as fans watching races that a tire goes down, you make just a little bit of a mistake in a braking zone, a little bit of contact can completely mess the whole day up. So anything can happen here. A little bit of a rubber band there from a Supra, but again, that's just the way it goes sometimes. But Doug still in P1, and his buddy Tetsudo there, he has not let him gain an inch. Tetsudo's not letting Doug go anywhere. So, and it actually looks like we're seeing a little bit of rain on track, ladies and gentlemen. Here, as you can see, the wipers are starting to come on these cars. So here we go. Now the drivers have a little bit of decision making to do here. We've seen Supra just enter pit lane, so Supra was watching that weather radar, and Supra went and put on some rain tires, I'm betting, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see what happens now as the drivers have to deal with changing weather conditions. You can see it's raining pretty decent here. We're already getting a mist on the racetrack. And yeah, you can see Tetsudo right now is getting a windshield full of overspray from the driver in front. Doug, Madam Mel coming in with that share. Much love, much love. How you doing, Madam Mel? And Tetsudo making a fantastic move, as you see. Doug, oh, he loses it. Oh no, that's heartbreaking for poor Doug as he loses traction in the rain. And you can see these drivers that are not on the tires, oh, they are struggling. You see every driver coming into pit lane here right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to see an absolute massive amount of pit stops. Tetsudo deciding to stay on the slicks. It is raining quite hard, ladies and gentlemen. Is this going to be a good choice by Tetsudo here? You can, ooh, and he is absolutely goes super wide here. Oh, that is not going to be good for Tetsudo. This could be a very bad decision on Tetsudo's part, as we see Key now taking P1 from Tetsudo. Key, we just seen come into pit lane to grab some of them their tires, and you can see already the difference. Let's see what happens here. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Let's go, man. Some weather changes. Great stuff here today at Nürburgring GP, and Mother Nature is not being kind to our drivers tonight. This is going to make for an absolutely crazy race here, ladies and gentlemen. I swear to God, I had no idea that this was going to happen. This is as much a shock to me as it is to everybody out there as well. So, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. And check this out. Look at how wet that racetrack is, ladies and gentlemen. So, we are about to see the difference in the tires here, as we still have Tetsudo on those slicks, and we've got Key in front on the rain tire. So whether or not that Key decided to go with the intermediate racing tire, wet tire, or the heavy wet tire, we're not sure, because we don't have that information displayed to everybody. But we did see some drivers up in the lead definitely stop to take some different tires, as we got Doug now, he's on his outlap. We got Hair Razor came in, and he got a pit penalty coming into pit lane. He does pick up that 3-second penalty. That is absolutely going to be crucial. And Supra here was the first driver actually to come in anticipating the weather on those wet tires. So expect Supra to make some moves here. We got Trone. Not sure if Trone's taking the wet tires or not yet, but judging by his braking, we're going to say he has not taken any wet tires. You can see Trone struggling to keep that race car on the racetrack. We got Monkey Mafia here in P7 as well. And let's take a look here. Monkey may have taken some rain tires here. We got a yellow flag up front here somewhere. So this is a different perplexity to the race. The driver's now having to make these tough decisions. And we say Tetsudo here in first place, so we're not sure what happened to Key, but Tetsudo is still in P1 here, and he's still, oh, and you can see he's absolutely battling these conditions on those racing slicks, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, I gotta say, hands off to Tetsudo for opting not to go in for rain tires. That's quite incredible, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like I'm not getting comments from one of our chats here. Bear with me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, as we see Doug's really starting to gain in on Tetsudo here. So, alright, everything is updated, everything's looking fantastic. Tetsudo into P2, Doug getting P1 back. Again, Doug did go get some tires. Tetsudo has not gotten tires. We're getting a blue flag here for some reason. I'm not 100% sure why. One of these drivers is in a blue flag situation. I'm a little confused as to who it was. Maybe there's a car off track that we just didn't see there. And we have a Key here now in P5. So I'm not sure what the strategy was from each of these drivers as it started to rain here. It looks like the rain has stopped or subsided. The wipers are no longer running on the race cars here. And you can see that the track there's still some spray. So, I mean, the track still obviously it has water on it, but if it continues to stay dry now, the cars running around the racing line will start to dry this racetrack out. We love this shot here. This is a great camera angle here. Really enjoyed this camera angle. You really get a look at what the driver's doing. And let's just stay on board with Monkey Mafia here for a minute as he navigates around T1 here at the Nürburgring GP. And then, of course, that leads into the Mercedes Arena, ladies and gentlemen, which is a very, very difficult sector here at the racetrack. Probably the most difficult sector in the racetrack is this sector right here. But if you get it right, it feels real good. It feels real good. And you can really hear Monkey is using the gear shifter more than the brakes here on this car to get around this racetrack currently in the wetter conditions. You see him get a little bit of a slide in the rear there. Wasn't able to get the ideal exit out of the Mercedes Arena there, but it's still a pretty good run. You can really see him trying to use the gear shifter to really slow that car down, as opposed to using the brakes. And we do have Key with fastest lap on track here currently with a 2:06.124. So Key does, of course, fastest lap points are always important, ladies and gentlemen. Bonus points, bonus points. This is a championship series, so every point does matter. And you can see Key currently holding fastest lap down at the moment here throughout the race. But again, that could change. So we're about 19 minutes into the race, ladies and gentlemen. So at about the 25-minute mark, we'll bring up the standings coming into round 4 here. We'll let you know where these drivers are sitting. And we see Anto having a little bit of an issue there. As you see our leader coming around him there, and he's just trying to get on the racetrack there. So Anto potentially one of those drivers opting not to go in for rain tires. And we see our second place driver Supra now getting around Anto as well. So Anto is definitely a lap down here. We got Hairraiser in P3. See him, he's just coming around Anto in Mercedes Arena here right now. Anto doing a great job getting out of the way of the drivers. Tetsudo here, who opted not to take rain tires, losing some time and some positions here. So we'll have to see if his pace can get him back up with the rest of these guys here. But again, the drivers that stop for rain tires, if it doesn't rain the rest of this race, they are going to be at a slight disadvantage. As the track starts to dry up and the conditions continue to get warmer, as those tires will actually start to become quite greasy and hard to control that race car. So those drivers are stuck in a position where they do need to decide if they're going to go back into pit lane and take slicks on. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of these strategies play out now throughout our race here for the rest of the day as it progresses. Obviously, different strategies from different drivers. Obviously, the weather has thrown a big wrench in some of these guys' plans. We got double pit lane penalty here for Anto, and Anto's just having a rough day here on the racetrack, and it happens to the best of the racers out there. We all have our good and our bad days. We got Daniel coming in with the big thumbs up. Much love. I hope everybody's doing well. So let's keep moving through our field here. Again, I'm sorry about the black screen in between, ladies and gentlemen. It's just the way the game is right now. It's really unfortunate, but we do apologize for that. I know it's not our fault, but we just got to work with what we got to work with, unfortunately. Super here in P2. Got Hairraiser in P3. Tetsudo in P4. And he's not too terribly far away from P3 here, I don't think, judging by the radar map there, but that might be Anto that he's coming up on as well. It is Anto that he's coming up on. So he's got a little bit of time to make up on the drivers up front, but he's not that far behind. I'm going to say maybe 10-12 seconds. Definitely doable, especially if those drivers have to stop. That should actually put him right back out in front. But again, I doubt that any of these drivers are going to be able to no stop this race. So we're most certainly going to definitely see at least a fuel stop from all these drivers at some point throughout the race. Now, whether or not the drivers have already reloaded on fuel when they took those rain tires, we're unsure. But we do see Key now opting to come in and get back off the rain tire here. So there we have it. We got to turn the pit line animation on too. We keep forgetting to do that so you guys can see why it takes so long for drivers to get into pit lane on Gran Turismo. Alston coming in with the thumbs up. How you doing, Alston? Much love. Great to see you, my man. We got Trone here as well. Trone in P7, so he's almost back up to his starting position here. We got Type R in P8, and Anto, again, see him struggling a little bit, but man, you know, this guy doesn't give. There's no give in Anto. He just continues on. He just puts in the time, he puts in his paces, and I mean, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we learn, that's how we get better, that's how we gain that very, very valuable track experience. So, huge respect to Anto for always toughing it out. You know, even when he's not having the best of days, he's still there, and he's still running, he's still driving, and he's still learning, and he's still trying to perfect his craft. And that's what makes sim racing so great. These guys just, they don't have, the drivers don't have give up in their blood. They really don't. They're competitors at heart. Friends out, you know, friends on and off the track. But when it comes down to these championship points, it's all every man for themselves. And they show it week in and week out. So the rain definitely threw a little wrench in the race here. So again, this is the mid-race now. Guys are going to be really working on their strategies. You see a move here by Hairraiser on Monkey Mafia. Obviously, we've seen Hairraiser come into pit lane, or Key, sorry, come into pit lane to get off those rain tires, get back on the slicks. So he got the move done there on Monkey Mafia, but unfortunately for him, he is going to be serving a 3-second penalty for pit lane infraction there, and he's going to lose both those positions from those drivers. So he's got to make up whatever time he can here to try not to lose too much ground when he does finally have to serve that penalty. Trone does get around Monkey as well, so Monkey's struggling a little bit with the weather, but again, the track is starting to dry up. We can see that overspray coming from the back of the cars is starting to deplete. You can see that line is starting to dry in the racing line there. You can see the coloration in the racetrack where the cars have been driving. So yeah, conditions are starting to shape up for some fast laps here again. But good twist here as we've seen some rain, and who knows, it could rain again. It looks like that the skies are clearing. We don't see any clouds right now, so Mother Nature shining upon our racers here now for hopefully the remainder of the race. But we are 25 minutes in, and we don't have that updated. So let me update this for you guys real quick. Check. Alright, so let's bring this up here real quick while we sit with our race leader, Doug Burrow, currently on track. And these are the results after round 3, ladies and gentlemen. So the results for this race that we're broadcasting have actually not yet been released. They will release those results probably right after the broadcast. So coming into this particular race, ladies and gentlemen, we do have Doug Burrow in the lead with what looks to be 56 points, and that is a pretty big spread on our second place driver. So Doug is very currently in command of this championship series, and of course, as we can see here, running currently in first place. Monkey Mafia is sitting in second place. He's been having some really great races here in these Silvia cars this series, but he's not having the best of races today. So sitting there in P2, he definitely is going to be looking to gain some positions here as the racetrack is drying up today. And then we have Ibra, who's sitting P3, and Keytops, who's sitting P4. Now Ibra is not in the race today, so that's going to make a big difference in the standings for Ibra. Key is in the race today, so even if he doesn't get a great result, he's still gaining points on that driver in the podium positions in the championship standings. So Key looking to take advantage, same as Hairraiser, as he's tied with Key. So Hairraiser also looking to take advantage here. We have Posh Connor, who's not in the race currently, sitting in P6. Type R, who is here. Again, good for Type R because he is on track, gaining those valuable points in P7. Trone in P8. He's on track. Seperate, P9. Having a good race so far. Currently sitting in P2. Really looking to get some point gain there. And then we have Canvas, who's not here today. We have Happy Pappy, who's missing today. Tap is also missing. And Anto, as you can see there in P15, he is on track today. So even though he's not having the greatest of race, he's still going to get some points on the standings, and that should help him boost up the standings as well, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Reeves coming in with that thumbs up. Much love, much love. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So coming into this particular race, this is where everybody is sitting for the GTRC in the Group 4 Silvia Touring Championship. Now, these guys do have a GR3 Championship as well running, but they run that in after the Silvia, so it's alternating every other week which championship series is running. We do see some of the same drivers from our Silvia series here that come into the GR3 series, and then we the GR3 series is very popular. It is a very, very big field of drivers, so it definitely provides some great racing. But Tetsudo now back up into P4 here. Obviously, we've seen Key make a pit, so that's why he's down into P5 there. So Tetsudo inherited the P4 position there. But again, I'm certain that all these drivers are yet going to have to stop for fuel. So when Key stopped for those tire changes, that might have been the right opportunity for him to also fill that tank right to the brim and potentially be able to push the rest of this race out without having to stop again. And if that is the case, Key is in a pretty good position to do very well in this race today. Doug did opt to take the race tires, I believe, so now he's going to be running on on very soft compound tires. Now the reason why rain tires get very slippery in dry conditions is because a rain tire is very, very soft. The rubber is very, very soft on these tires, and when you get normal racing conditions that aren't wet, the rubber on those tires cannot stay cool because they don't have the moisture on the racetrack to keep the tire cool, and it really eats at those at the rain tires because the rubber is so soft. So you can only really push those tires for so long in dry conditions before they're just not going to treat you very well. And some of these drivers are attempting that right now, and are going to start seeing that. So we do see Hellraiser and Supra have both come in. Ronan Ryder coming in with the sub over on YouTube. Much love, much love. Thank you so much for that sub, my guy. We appreciate you over on YouTube, over here on Facebook, over here on the GTRC YouTube. We appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for the love. Much love. Welcome to the family. Third place, Supra. Now, again, Supra was one of those drivers on the racing tire. Hellraiser, one of those drivers on the racing tire. We just seen both those drivers go into pit lane and get back onto the racing slicks. We're at that halfway point of this race, so we can definitely assure that those drivers have also topped off their fuel tanks. Those two drivers are good to go for the remainder of the race. However, Hellraiser here with a 3-second pit penalty infraction is going to cost him quite a bit of time here on the racetrack. But in a good position here, if Tetsudo does have to stop, if Doug does have to stop, and we do know that Doug's going to eventually have to stop to get off those rain tires because they're not going to last forever, again, in racing dry conditions, as we just explained to everybody. So each one of these racing tires is designed for a different purpose, and each different racing compound that the drivers use in these races, one compound could be really, really hard rubber and some could be really soft, and it depends on your driving condition which tire ultimately you want to use. So again, with the medium tire being mandatory and the only tire compound, of course with the exception of rainy conditions being used, they have a fairly hard compounded tire that holds up pretty well under high stress, and that's why they opt to use that. So we now see Doug coming in off those intermediate wets, so he is going to come in off those racing onto some racing slicks. So let's see what Tetsudo does behind us. Tetsudo opt to stay out longer, or is he going to take the pit now? He opts to stay out, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see where he comes out in comparison with Doug now. You can still see there's just a little bit of moisture on that racetrack. You can see just a tiny, tiny little bit of moisture coming up from those rear tires as you're running down the racetrack here still. We hear Doug coming out of pit lane right now. So Tetsudo does get first place back from Doug. Now, Tetsudo really needs to work hard on opening that gap up because, again, I'm sure he's going to have to make a stop here yet. We have not yet seen a driver do any one of these endurance races in this series on a no-stop strategy. It's very, very difficult to do. It requires a lot of fuel saving, obviously tire conservation, and we watched these guys for the first 5 or 6 laps really battling pretty good for P1 and P2, P3 positions. So I highly doubt that the tires are really going to make the distance of the race, and I'm pretty sure fuel can't make it either. I think you're going to have to be a fuel-saving wizard to pull that off, but we could be wrong. We will have to wait to find out. So Supra in P3 here. Hellraiser still chasing in P4. And I mean, there's a distance. There's definitely some gaps between these drivers here currently. We have Key in P5. He's just coming into Mercedes arenas. We just see Hellraiser coming out of it. So you can definitely see there's definitely some space between our drivers. But we do have a battle here with Tron Kobe and Monkey Mafia. So let's hang with this here for a little bit. And see if Monkey Mafia can get the job done on Tron, or if Tron can get away from Monkey Mafia. Now, this is a battle for P6 and P7, ladies and gentlemen. And it doesn't matter where the battle is on the racetrack, we want to see it. And we can see Trone getting wide there, so Monkey's going to go on the outside, but that's going to put him on the outside in the Mercedes arena, but he has the momentum. And Trone opting just to cut back. You can see Monkey thought about defending there. Ooh, a little bit of contact, just a small amount of contact there. You can see Trone backing off there. He doesn't want to take the position as he knows he made a little mistake there. Very small amount of contact, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely minuscule amount there. But again, racing etiquette means everything, and these drivers are full of it. So Trone just backed off, and he's going to reset up to try and make that pass nice and clean and efficiently. So great job there by the drivers. Tons of respect as we've seen there. And really great move by Monkey Mafia there as he had take him on the outside coming in the Mercedes arena. That's no easy task. No easy task. It's definitely doable. We just saw it. It's just not an easy task. So we now have Type R coming in. He's coming in off those intermediates as well, ladies and gentlemen. You can see him in pit lane here right now. You can see those guys ripping those tires off. You can see the difference as you've seen them pull those rain tires off. They were very, very slickish. Looked very worn out. And then you see them put those racing tires on, those mediums. You can see the grooves in those tires. So you can definitely see the difference, what fresh tires compared to what some used up rain tires look like in dry conditions there and there. It was visible. I could see it very visibly, the difference when they took those rain tires off. So, yes, they were definitely wearing in these drying conditions. But Tetsudo now, he's moving down the road, but he hasn't lost Doug. Doug has not really lost any time to him. And again, Doug's out on fresh tires. So we would suspect that Doug isn't going to lose Tetsudo here. So the longer Tetsudo attempts to run away from Doug, I think he's hurting himself at this point. I believe that he needs to just make his pit stop and get it out of the way and get back on track and try to make that time up, because Doug is in very good position for the race win right now, unless he's going to go for the no stop, which would be absolutely fantastic to see if somebody could pull it off. Now we know Doug is a pad driver, ladies and gentlemen, so Doug Burrow does drive on pad. He does not drive on the wheel and pedals, he drives on pad. You can see he has quite good pace. Obviously he's our current championship leader here as well, so clearly he has great pace. But the one thing I do hear about him complain the most about is, of course, tire conservation and fuel consumption. So you know, and it is very, very difficult on controller to be light enough on your controls to save those tires and save that fuel. So but I mean, he clearly hasn't figured out, because he shows great pace week in and week out, and he's doing very, very well in this series. Again, he is looking to run away with the championship, and a win here today could very potentially lock that in for him, I think. So Key here in 5th place. He's starting to slowly, I think, gain on Hair Razor here. That gap definitely looks a little bit closer than the last time we checked. Monkey Mafia is, again, we've seen get around Trone Colby with a great move on the outside going through Mercedes arena there. But Trone hasn't let him go. Trone has not let him go. Trone's just chilling behind him there, and he's just kind of working out his strategy of when he's going to try and make that move on Monkey Mafia. He'd get that position back for P6. So a good little battle still developing here for P6 and P7. As you can see, Trone getting a great run coming around that corner there, and he's going to get the run on Monkey here. So can he get the job done now? He's got the inside, but he's going to have the outside coming into the next corner, but he gets a great run around there. As you see, Monkey's going to try and stick his nose in there, but he just doesn't have the run. So Trone getting the job done, getting P6 back from Monkey Mafia. So we got ourselves a nice little dogfight back here for P6 and P7. Great stuff by these drivers. Great move by Trone Colby right there. He set that up, got a great run through that corner, got a great run up the straight, and just enough of a run to hold Monkey off for the return move. But you can see Monkey here's got a run now. He's in that slipstream. Let's jump on board with Monkey Mafia here. With Trone, as Monkey's trying to get this job done. But you see Trone's going to semi-defensive here. Then he tucks back over. Monkey's going to opt not to try and make the move here. Both those drivers getting outside in that wet line here. But now we've got Monkey trying to get it done. You can see in the mirror, in the right mirror there, he's not going to get that done. He's going to try for the cutback here. Trone did get a little bit wide there. And you can see Monkey is just, he's working. He's trying to find his way around here. And he just can't get around Trone. So Trone's doing a fantastic job here right now, ladies and gentlemen, to defend the attack of Monkey Mafia off. And these guys are battling. Oh, contact! Oh, Monkey Mafia make contact. He gets thrown into the wall, and you can see Monkey there. He absolutely did not mean to do that, and he is going to wait for Trone to get back on track here. And again, that's racing etiquette, ladies and gentlemen. The respect on track from these drivers. He knows he made a mistake there, and he's going to wait for Trone. He's going to make sure Trone gets his spot back here. And love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. Love to see it. Great job by these two drivers, as these two drivers are absolutely battling for that 6th and 7th position. What a great battle those guys are really having back there. Let's get back up front and see what's going on up front here. These guys got me sweating. This is I don't know where to look here sometimes. There's so much going on. All right, so we do have Tetsudo. He is, we're 36 minutes into this race, so I'm starting to wonder if he's going to try and pull a no-stop here. Doug in P2, and Doug's gaining. Yeah, I mean, we've seen Doug slowly closing the gap up, lap by lap by lap. Again, Doug's on the fresher tire here, but Tetsudo's clearly going to have a much lighter fuel tank. So, which is going to be the better advantage, I guess. You would think that they're obviously having grip on your race car is going to be of a better advantage to you. But the longer that Tetsudo can keep Doug behind and keep Doug battling for that position, the better it could potentially work out for Tetsudo, because he's going to help Doug wear those tires down a little bit to the point where maybe it's more of an advantage on that tire situation. It's going to come down to that driver skill. Again, this is a one-make race for these drivers. They're all running on the same settings, the same powers, the same weights. This really comes down to driver skill for these race cars and understanding how these race cars handle. So that's what makes this series really, really great. So we're going to jump on the secondary onboard camera here with Doug, as he's just kind of on the chase here. He's not forcing the issue right now. You can see Doug's playing it pretty calm, pretty cool, pretty patient. He's just hitting his marks. He doesn't want to lose any more time. He just wants to stick with that leader, and when Doug gets to run, I think is when we're going to see Doug attempt to make that move, ladies and gentlemen. But you see Doug just a little bit of a slide around Coca-Cola corner here, and you can see that slide costing just maybe a half a tenth a second there, and you can see how quickly that allowed Tetsudo to pull a little bit of a gap on him there. So now instead of being right on the back of Tetsudo coming into T1 here, he's got to work all the way back around the racetrack to gain that time back up so he can try to make that move in the proper straightaway moment. And most of these drivers wait for these longer runs. They just try to get the better run out of on the driver on exit and just take that pass and slip. And that's what we saw there. Doug just making a slight mistake coming around Coca-Cola curve there, and just couldn't quite catch up. But Tetsudo's doing a fantastic job here, really defending that position from Doug. So when we look behind here, we can see what's going on here as we get up onto our hood cam here, and this is a really great shot right here. But you can see Doug, he's working here. I don't have full 360 rotation in some of these angles, but it definitely allows us to try and catch some of this side-by-side action. As we see Doug going around on the inside, a little bit of contact between the two drivers there. No big deal. You can see Tetsudo and Doug both making that adjustment. A little bit of a flash of the lights to say, "I'm sorry, mate." Battle on. Tetsudo in P2, Doug in P1. The biggest question is does Tetsudo have the car underneath of him to respond to the car that has fresher tires? And potentially more than enough fuel to also push when he needs to in this race. So that's kind of where these drivers are left here at the moment. But these guys are having a battle here for P1 and P2, and these guys have not left each other alone all race long. There's about maybe a 10-minute window when the weather started there where we've seen a little bit of separation between Tetsudo and Doug here. But other than that, these guys have been all over each other all race long. You can still see a little bit of overspray on the track here. Ooh, you can see Doug having to defend a little bit there. Tetsudo got a really good line coming into the chicane there, and Doug just cutting that line off right at the last second. So Tetsudo had to back off a little bit there. Cost him a little bit of time, so now he's got to work on trying to catch Doug up this straightaway. Who gets the better run is going to be the guy who gets to the first corner first, is what this comes down to. It looks like Doug's going to hold him off here. So these guys are having a cracking race, and these guys are having a battle. It's absolutely fantastic to watch. We've got about 9 minutes remaining. So with that being said, guys, oops, wrong button. Let's bring up your info for you. Let's get it all on. All right, so there we go. So now we can see what the driver's situation on their tires. We can see the driver's situation on their fuel. We can see all these beautiful things so you guys can see where we're at. You can see the difference here between our leaders' tires and fuel compared to our second place driver's tires of fuel. And you know, I think we're gonna have our driver pull off the first no stop here, so that's pretty fantastic. I'd love to see that. We got Supra here in P3. He's having a fantastic race as well, ladies and gentlemen. And he's not that far behind P1 and P2. He's really pushing here. He's got the fuel to get there. So he has enough underneath of him to really try to get back up to those guys. Same with Hair Razor. Look at Hair Razor's tires. They look fantastic. Looks like Hair Razor has just gotten on those tires and just scrubbed them in. He's been on those tires for quite a few minutes now. So P3 and P4 may not be out of the question here. Yeah, again, P5 with Hair Razor's tires are looking fantastic, and he definitely has the fuel. So I think we're going to start seeing some of these drivers really start to push out here. And Monkey Mafia is still right there. He has not let Trone get out of his sight. So this battle's definitely not done yet either, ladies and gentlemen, as these two guys are right here. And we're actually going to stick with this just for a second, as it looks like Monkey got a pretty good run there. He might actually get on the back end of Trone coming into T1 here. Monkey going in just a little bit later on the brakes than Trone. They're just trying to gain a little bit more time up, and he gets a great exit. Monkey gets a really great exit there, and he gains good chunk there on Trone. So race on by these two drivers. You can see Monkey's really just trying to shorten some of those lines up a little bit just to try and gain those half a tenths here, those half a tenths there where he needs them, and it's working. He's gaining. You can see him get a little bit of the cut of the curb there. He may pick up a penalty for that, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see. Yes, he does. Stewards say, no, mate, you can't do that. We're going to slap you with a 1. So really unfortunate there for Monkey Mafia. He was really starting to close up there on Trone, but just got a little too anxious on the curb coming out of a Mercedes arena there, cutting a little bit of that corner, and the stewards are not going to let him get away with that. So 1 second penalty there for his 7th place driver, Monkey Mafia. Really unfortunate. But Doug looks like he's starting to pull a gap here now on Tetsudo. So Doug's gotten around, he's cleared him, and now he's just up the road. So Tetsudo does still need to factor in the fact that he's got to worry about his fuel for the remainder of this race as well, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, you know, he's got more to worry about than trying to catch back up to the leader. He's also got to defend Supra, who, I mean, really, without that mistake, is starting to close in. He is starting to close in, and we got Hair Razor right there. You can hear Hair Razor. You just caught a glimpse of Hair Razor in the background here. Yeah, when you look, I mean, that's Hair Razor right there, ladies and gentlemen. So Hair Razor is definitely starting to close the gap up on 3rd place driver Supra. So we got some potential battles happening here very close to the end of the race. And we're going to have to definitely be keeping our eye on that radar map on the top right-hand side of the screen. Well, now you go live. Appreciate you, Discord. Jesus. We got Trone here in P6, and again, because of that penalty there by Monkey Mafia, Trone get a little bit of gap there. Oh, and Monkey coming in. Maybe he doesn't think he's got enough fuel. I was just going to say, it looks like Trone is flashing in the red as well, and we still got 5.5 minutes remaining. So a couple of these drivers potentially don't have enough fuel to make this race either. Interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Different strategies play in. The weather came into this race today, really threw a little wrench in everybody's strategies, and then everybody's kind of had to readjust, and it's been interesting to see how everybody's handled that so far. But I mean, the bold strategy of the day belongs to this man right here, Tetsudo, here in P2. I mean, this guy is, he's got some brass ones, Chad. He's got some brass ones. He is the first driver to attempt a no-stop race in this series, and for as long as I've been commentating for the GTRC community now over the last season and a half here or so, I've never seen nobody do a no-stop yet. So I'm loving this. I'm personally loving this, and it kind of looks like he's starting to catch back up to Doug. You can hear Doug just up ahead. So interesting, very interesting. Oh, it's Monkey. Okay, I thought it was Doug. He's actually catching up to some lap traffic here. He's catching up to Monkey Mafia and Trone Kobe here. So Doug having a little bit of separation there. Here we go, battle for P3, ladies and gentlemen. We figured this was going to be happening, and Hair Razor was right there. So let's stick with this for a minute, as this is the battle on track, ladies and gentlemen. And Hair Razor, we said he had the fuel and he had the car under him to really push, and he's pushing. He's not holding back here, ladies and gentlemen. So Hair Razor's trying to go for the win here. sorry, for the P3 here. So trying to go for the move on Supra here. Look away for 1 second, I get distracted. But Supra getting a little bit of a separation there on Hair Razor. So Hair Razor's got to try and make this time up through this sector here. And this is a fairly high-speed flowing sector. You're not really using a ton of braking. When, it's hard to explain. It's really hard to explain. It's a lot of downshifting with a little brake tapping here and there. Maybe some trail braking as you're getting around the corner. But oh, you can see Supra getting really squirrely there. And Hair Razor's got to run. Oh! A little bit of contact there between the two drivers. I don't think that Supra realized he had to go outside of him there. And you can see that cost Hair Razor a little bit of time. But race on. Hair Razor's not going to give up on this. He is definitely going to push right back into this. And he is going to try and hunt down that P3 position. So, a little Rubbins race. And that's the way she goes sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. And race on by these two. So this gives us a small little up. Oh, Hair Razor picking up a half-second penalty for track limitations there. That's really unfortunate for Hair Razor there. So he's really got to tuck up in behind Supra here before he gets to that penalty serving line. You can see he got a great run out of that final corner. You can see he's slowly gaining in on Supra here as he's coming into T1 as well. We're going to jump up front here and see what we see up front though. So we got Tetsudo. And I don't think he's gotten around Monkey Mafia or Tron Kobe yet here. They're still up ahead there. So, looking like Doug's gotten a little bit of separation as Doug has gotten around both those drivers. And Monkey Mafia is starting to close back up on Tron Kobe here. So, we also have a battle for P6 and P7 here as well, ladies and gentlemen, with only just a few minutes remaining. Pardon me. But you can see Monkey Mafia's fuel a little bit low here. And our boy Anto's still putting in his pace as he's going to come in as he's getting low on fuel there. But to our race leader. And we just have a couple of minutes remaining. So next time around should be penultimate lap for Doug. And then we'll be moving into our... well, maybe not. This might be the penultimate lap right here for Doug, actually. And then he'll probably get around in time for that start-finish line for one more lap. But we'll have to wait and see, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to stick with our race leader here just for a second. We got Tetsudo doing a great job here in P2. The only driver to attempt a nose stop here. Hair Razor has gotten around Supra, so we did miss the pass, but Hair Razor again has that half-second penalty, so that should get Supra the chance to get right back around him here. We see that penalty go down. You see him lose that momentum, so yes, there we go. Hair Razor dropping back down into P4. So now he's got some work to do here to try and get back around Supra before the end of this race. As we see Supra coming around Coca-Cola curve here right now, ladies and gentlemen. And it looked like he got a pretty good run out of that corner. And he's actually not really all that far behind Tetsudo here currently either, ladies and gentlemen. Both these drivers are closing in on that second place driver. So I don't know if they have enough time to catch him, but we're about to find out. We got Key here, who we've been kind of just... he's just been in no man's land here for the last little while. We're doing his thing there right now. Obviously, he doesn't want to lose any more positions. And maybe hoping for a mistake up front, gain some time, maybe get another position. Monkey Mafia now ahead of Tron Kobe here, so Monkey Mafia taking over P6 here. And Tron now chasing for position back on Monkey Mafia. So we're seeing some great battles right to the end of the race here. And then Type R and Anto, they don't really have any pressure going on. They're just running their laps here. So on to our race leader. Final lap, lap 23, ladies and gentlemen. 22 for some of the drivers. And Doug looking very well in command here. Looking like he's going to bring this one home. But again, the race is not over yet. He has plenty of fuel there. Really has nothing to worry about. He's got a nice, comfortable gap. We see Type R coming in P8 there, which means Anto has officially come across in P9 as well. But we are going to stick with our race leader here as he's coming up to the final sector here in the racetrack. Got this nice juicy doozy little hairpin corner here. Chicane, I guess you want to call it. And And looking like tonight, our winner is Mr. Doug Burrow, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations to Doug. Another great race, and he had some great battles with this man right here, all race long, Tetsudo. Now, I think Tetsudo's good for P2 here, so a no stop, ladies and gentlemen. Hats off to Tetsudo for pulling off the no stop and coming out on that podium with a P2. So he toughed out the rain on those slicks. He did not make a pit stop, and he comes out with a really great race finish here. Super is going to come across a P3, carrying a penalty across, though. So where does Hairraiser come across after that penalty settles in? Looks like Hairraiser's still going to come across in P4. So great job by these two drivers. And the penalty for Hairraiser really was kind of the deciding factor for him. They're near the end of the race, sitting on the podium. So unfortunate for Hairraiser there. And we see Key also with a half-second penalty, and he's going to carry that penalty across the finish line here as well. But won't affect his position, obviously. As you see, Monkey Mafia has finished ahead in P6, just edging out Tro and Kobe there for P7. Those two drivers having a great battle all half last of that race. Type R in P8 and Anto in P9. So all drivers staying on track, all drivers putting in their paces, and all drivers got the job done, ladies and gentlemen. So cracking job by the GTRC community. And as you can see here, this race wasn't done live. It's rebroadcast as it was done last Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. But great job by all the drivers there at the GTRC. So a little race recap here. We had Tetsudo. He's coming in and filling in for the race today, and coming in and taking that pole position. So clearly the man has some pace, but Doug Burrow really showing that experience and that skill on track today. Once again, holding down the race lead for the majority of that race, and just looking in command and in control. So practice does make perfect, and we do know that Doug put some time in for these races. So and he's showing it on the racetrack. As again, he has a pretty large championship standings lead on the rest of the drivers, and this first place win today really should, I believe, secure that championship title here in the Group 4s for him. But we'll have to wait to see for the standings to be officially posted. 3P, great commentary, bud, thanks. Thought I'd blown it after the spin. Didn't watch me and Razor battle during the last lap. Oh, I know, I missed it. I'm sorry, Supra. Oh, I'm sorry, brother. I missed it. My bad, my guy. You guys were having a cracking battle. We caught lots of that battle. But great job there by Supra as well, ladies and gentlemen, coming in with a strong third place finish. And we've really seen Supra, his improvements and in his pace, and he's really starting to compete with these top drivers here in these series, and it's a lot of fun to watch because when he really gets flying around the racetrack, man, can he move. So, and that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. League racing is about learning. It's about gaining that experience. It's about getting together with your fellow drivers and trying something a little different. Maybe you find some time. You know, it's the spirited competition, but the family vibe outside of the racing is what it's all about, and that's what keeps everybody coming back for more racing day in and day out, week in and week out. And these guys, you know, they're quickly growing community. We love to see it, and if you guys are interested in what the GTRC is doing, let us know in the comments here, either whether it be on the GTRC YouTube, whether it be the GT45 Gaming YouTube, or our Facebook page. Just hit us up, let us know you want more information. We'll set you up with the GTRC Discord, and we'll get you in with some of the admin staff. They'll let you know where to find all that beautiful information to see if you're interested. Let's get you on track. Let's get you on camera. Let's see those skills. Let's see what you got. Let's have some fun. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. And I can guarantee you that this group has a lot of fun on the racetrack. So great job again by the GTRC. These guys never cease to disappoint in their racing. They always provide great action-packed battles as well, and not just in front, all throughout the pack. I mean, we had a cracking battle going between Cronin and Monkey in 6th and 7th. We had a beautiful battle between Hairraiser and Super at the end of the race, throughout the middle of the race, throughout the beginning of the race. We had just a great battle for P1 and P2 all race long. And I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Drivers love racing each other. Razor spun at Schumacher S's. Oh, well, that's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes when you're pushing. We've seen it. We've seen it so many times. Nurburgh is such a great racetrack too. It's a great racing racetrack. It's been around for a very long time. It's obviously a massively historic racetrack. And it just makes for great racing. It really does. Once you get the track figured out, it's so much fun. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Again, these guys are live tomorrow. they're going to be racing the GR3s, and yeah, I don't even know what track it is. Sardinia A, I believe it is. I believe we're heading to Sardinia A for the GT3 Championship series tomorrow. Again, ladies and gentlemen, 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And that's going to be live broadcast by the amazing Tatiana. I'm super stoked. I miss Tatiana's. I miss seeing Tatiana. So we're going to have some comms done by Tatiana next week, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. We love to see her. And we're going to jump on track with these guys tomorrow and test ourselves a little bit against some of these best drivers here as well. So I'm looking forward to the race, and can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. But we do have to continue on. We got another race yet, so don't run away, ladies and gentlemen. This is just one of 2 races we're going to broadcast here. But what we are going to do is we are going to shut it down on the GTRC YouTube channel, and then we will just continue on with the next race. So again, massive congratulations to our podium finishers. Super in P3. We had Tetsudo come in P2 with a great no-stop race. When you talk about good races, a no-stop strategy coming in P2, that's a fantastic result from Tetsudo. So hats off to Tetsudo for pulling off a no-stop. And of course, congratulations to Doug taking in the race win, taking the tires when he needed to take the tires, taking his pits when he needed to take his pits, and keeping the pace when he needed to keep the pace. And again, coming out with a race win. So can anybody stop him in the next couple rounds here in the Group 4 Silvias? You guys will have to tune in next week to find out. I am your host, GT45 Gaming. We appreciate all the support. Don't forget to hit that like. Don't forget to share this out. And definitely don't forget to hit that subscribe button over there on the GTRC YouTube channel. We love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. And we'll be right back with Race 2 on the day, ladies and gentlemen. Much love. We'll be back soon. 2 minutes to switch everything over. Love you guys. Cheers. Alright, so we are still live here at the GT45 Gaming YouTube and Facebook channel, ladies and gentlemen. We do appreciate you guys all hanging tight. We just got to make a couple of adjustments, so bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to throw you back to my starting soon screen. I'm still going to be able to talk to you. And we're just going to get the next race set up, and then we're going to kick it off right away, ladies and gentlemen. This had a pretty good field of drivers in it. It's a one-make Beetle race. Again, we're over in Autopolis short for this one. And yeah, it's going to be a fun race. So stay tuned, everybody. Good chance to take a bathroom break, refresh the refreshments, maybe grab a new snack. Yeah, give me 5 minutes to set this next one up, and we'll be back flying with some more commentary by your band, GT45 Gaming. Just going to flip screens. We're still here to talk with you guys. We got to make some adjustments as far as stuff goes. Typically, we don't do this live, but we're catching up on some work we've missed out on here over the last couple of weeks. So just bear with me here, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get the new replay set up, obviously. So we're going to take care of that first, and then we're going to change some logos around. Talk a little bit about what the race is going to have and what the details are. My items. Is that the one right there? Alright, so replay is loading, ladies and gentlemen. So while we're doing that, we're going to make a couple of adjustments here. Alright, so we're going to turn that guy on there. You guys can see what's going down. We got to turn that guy there. We got to turn that one on right there. Alright, so what we're setting up, ladies and gentlemen, is round 7 of the OFR GT7 NA division. And we're going to rock and roll with this in about 2 minutes time here. So we're just setting the replay up. As you can see, it's loading the replay right now. There it is. And we have quite the race here. So we'll go through our starting lineup here. So we do have, as you can see, one make Beetle race on the screen there, ladies and gentlemen. Calazuri is on pole. Badass is in P2. Rotocorp is in P3. We got Jake in P4. We got Sparky Boomman in P5, Larry Birch in P6, Apex Luke in P7, a Crazy Face from Apex Racing in P8. And I don't recognize the livery, so I gotta wait. Devin Calypso in P9. We got Anto in P10. We got LJ in P11. We got GT45 Gaming in P12. We've got Superman in P13. And we've got Heathen in P14. So we got 4 drivers up on the racetrack here, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to do the same thing we do for all our rebroadcasts. We're just going to set the cameraman up here. And we're going to leave the race info on for this race. Again, this isn't a live broadcast, right, ladies and gentlemen? So we don't have any issues with showing you guys the tire wear for this one. Now, this is an OFR race, so that means that all 3 racing tire compounds are required to be used, ladies and gentlemen. So all the drivers are required to use the racing hards, the racing mediums, and the racing softs. Now, if weather comes into factor, then of course the rain tires are always available to the drivers. And there's no minimum laps you have to use those tires for. It just has to be 1 full lap, and no minimum amount of pit stops allowed to be made. No, there's no restrictions on how many tires you can use. There's no any of that going on here for this series. So we got 14 Group 3 Beetles sitting on the grid. So we're definitely going to go take a look at these Beetles sitting on the grid. Just let me get the P1 first. All right. So you guys get to see what we do behind the scenes here because we're live. Typically we don't do this live, right? So, here we go. Look at that grid of Beetles, ladies and gentlemen. So, cameraman, we're just going to take a walk. We're going to take a look at the liveries. We got Calazuri. And he's quick driver, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely quick driver. Just a nice, simple little livery there. We've got Jake here. I'm not sure why Jake's there. Yes, it's Jake. Colors. They all got colors. Sitting in P2 here. And then P3 here. Oh, that is a fancy livery right there. We got Rotocorp there, and he likes those anime liveries. And then we've got Apex Racing's Badass. Of course, he's one of the officials here at the OFR GT7 NA League. He's the mastermind behind what happens here at GT7 NA. Sitting there in P4, you can see that in a beautiful Apex livery there. We've got Sparky Boomman right here. Moving down the line, we got Apex Racing's Luke, and this guy's quick too, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see him in that yellow color scheme there. We got Eduardo coming in with that thumbs up. How you doing, Eduardo? Hope you're doing well, my guy. Moving down the list here, guys. We just went through the field, but we like to see the cars. We got LJ here. Of course, fellow teammate at Rockefeller Racing. And then we got another Apex driver, ladies and gentlemen. They are just filling this lobby up. And, yeah, I don't remember whose color scheme that is. Crazy Face. Apex Crazy Face. And then we move down the line here. We got Mr. Larry Bird, Mr. Betcher from the Apex Racing team. And of course, we got the beautiful Anto livery here, Golf Style Beetle today. And you can see that EDA there as well. Moving down the line. We got Heathen here as well, ladies and gentlemen. Car's looking fantastic. Can't remember who that is. Devin Calypso, Mr. Calypso. You can see him with the Ice Racing Group there as well, ladies and gentlemen. Huge shout out to them, boys. Hope you guys are doing well down there in Australia. It's been a while since I've touched base with you guys. And we got Apex Superman. He likes that orange. And you can see, you can tell an Apex Racing team member when you got one. And then we got a little bit of a fun little livery here from GT45 Gaming. This was made by Tattooed Freak as well. And of course, to show our support and our newest partnership with Apex Racing. And what we're trying to do, ladies and gentlemen, is provide competitive racing and community-based racing available to the GT45 Gaming community through Apex Racing. So to learn more about that, of course, feel free to ask or comment or hit me up on WhatsApp, whatever. There's many sources and ways through the messenger on the page. If you're interested in becoming a part of a team or knowing what it feels like to be a part of a team and get into that kind of competitive racing spirit and get a feel for it, opportunity is there through the GT45 Gaming community, of course, in cooperation with Apex Racing, who is the sponsor here at OFR. So, you're a racer out there, you've been looking for a team, you don't know how to approach it, just drop a comment, hit us up. They do have a website as well, ladies and gentlemen, www.apexsimracing.com, I believe. I don't have it up in the description yet. That's coming soon. But there's definitely lots of ways to contact. These guys are a super good group of guys. They've been recruiting drivers from the community for a little while now, and they're becoming a very strong competitive team. So it's great to see. We love to see the growth in every aspect of the community, and Apex is growing for sure, along with OFR. So lots of interest in this GT7 league, and it's only going to grow. So if you're interested, you guys know what to do, man. Let us know in the comments. Hit us up on our channels, on our Discord servers, on our messengers, on our WhatsApps. Let us know you're interested. We will direct you to the right people, get you in the right spots so you can take a look, get more informed on what's going on. And they're always welcoming new racers into the league. And of course, they're always recruiting at Apex Racing as well, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, let's kick this off, shall we? We're going to switch over to our live screen. We're going to make a couple more quick changes before we get this going. We're going to lose that one. We're going to put on that guy. And we're going to put on that guy. And we're good to go. All right. All right, all right, all right. You guys ready? Who's ready for a race? I know I'm ready for a race. Autopolis short, ladies and gentlemen. 42 laps. That's correct, ladies and gentlemen. 42 laps around Autopolis short with the GR3 Beetles. Let's go. Got 5 reds. We're waiting for them greens. Long light. And we're off, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. 14 Beetles coming down. Coming into T1 again. T1 is not a hard braking zone. It's actually quite a high-speed corner. And you got all these Beetles side by side. We're all side by side as we're coming into the corners here. Kawazuri's going to hold, but it looks like Rotocorp's going to try to make the move there as you see 2 Apex guys right there, 2 pressing. So here we go. The game audio is really quiet. There we go. So Rotocorp taking P1 from Kawazuri there into the midsection here of Autopolis short. We got Badass and we got Jake battling for position. You see Sparky Boomman just behind these two as well, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of Beetles running right there. We got Sparky, and then we've got LJ Super Ninja grabbing some positions very early on. Apex Luke here in P7. We got Crazy Face in P8. We got Anto in P9. We got Larry Birch in P10. We got GT45 in P11. We got Devin Calypso in P12. We got Heathen in P13, and we've got Superman here in P14. So here we go. Get back up to the lead here, ladies and gentlemen, as we have Rotocorp absolutely flying here. And Kawazuri on his heels. We got a driver going into pit lane already. It looks like GVG Jake going into pit lane. So probably starting on that tire, getting rid of it right away. So already pit strategies coming into play here in race 2 today, ladies and gentlemen. Kawazuri a little bit behind Rotocorp. Rotocorp's starting to pull a gap already, but Kawazuri's doing his best not to let him go as we see Badass in P3 trying to chase these two down. None of these drivers too far apart right now. Again, race just started here. We got Sparky Boomman with Apex Luke and LJ Super Ninja all right there, nose to tail, battling for position. Crazy Face just behind these 3. As we see Sparky getting a good run, we see a car go really wide through the corner there. We got LJ now up into P5. We've got Crazy Face up into P6. We got Anto up into P7. We got Larry Birch in P8. We've got Devin Calypso moved up into P9. We got GT45 in P10. We got Apex Heathen here in P11. We got Apex Luke in P12. Superman battling there as well, losing that position there, going down into P13. And now we have Jake in P14. Obviously, we've seen Jake make that very early pit stop. So, again, early strategy coming in for some of these drivers. But Rotocorp absolutely trying to run away with this 42-lap Beetle race here currently as he is cruising with a 107.7 on that first hot lap. So Rotocorp owning fastest lap on track currently until somebody takes it from him. So Kawazuri in the chase. You see Kawazuri just getting a little bit of a wiggle there, and that should allow Badass to actually catch up to him here a little bit, you would think. So Kawazuri just got a really great run through that corner there, and he's looking very speedy today. He's looking very, very racy, ladies and gentlemen. So Badass doing what he can to catch up, and I know Badass really likes this Beetle as well. So he's not unfamiliar with this car, so it's going to be interesting to see what he has as the race progresses as well. Sparky Boomman sitting right here in P4 as well, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see that the field is still quite close here. Everybody is just kind of settling into the race here. We see an attempted move here in the background by Crazy Face on Super Ninja. So these two drivers battling behind Sparky here. Super Ninja's going to get the run out on him and get that position back. Crazy Face was going to attempt it on the outside. I think he's looking for a cutback there as LJ gets a little bit sideways there. Ooh, and he gets a little bit into the grass there as well. So losing a little bit of time on Sparky Boomman here. We get Nick Brewster coming in with the thumbs up. Hey, love you, Nick. How you doing, my guy? Hope you're doing well, my man. And the move right there by Crazy Face. Bold move by Crazy Face. Really taking that lunge through the inside corner. He gets the job done. LJ now trying to respond. A little bit of contact between the two drivers there. trying to get the inside track here. He's not going to be able to get the inside track, but this should give him a run. And he absolutely does get that run on Crazy Face. So is he going to be able to maintain it coming around this hard hairpin? LJ gets a good braking zone, really gains that time. Let's see if he can get it on exit. Great race so far by all our drivers here. This is a battle for P5 and P6, ladies and gentlemen. And these guys are doing a fantastic job. You can see behind, there's a battle going on in behind between Larry, Anto, and whoever's behind them as well there. So, I believe it's Apex Luke just in behind there. So, there is battles all over the racetrack right now. As you can see, you can just see that battle. Let's go back there. Let's get to this battle. Oh, a little bit of contact there between Calypso and Anto there, so that's going to slow them down a little bit. Larry's going to get clear, so Larry moving up into P7 here. So now it's between these two drivers, Anto and Devin Calypso. A little bit of contact coming around that final corner there, and then that's a very tough corner. So tell LJ I said happy belated. It's not till August, Nick. It's not till August. August 3rd, my guy. August 3rd. You're good. You're good. Devin Calypso here, we've seen just making a little bit of contact. Just came into came out of that final chicane just a little bit hot there and just making a small amount of contact. Slowed the drivers down just a little bit, but it didn't take anybody out. And I don't think they received any damage. We're not seeing damage on either car, so drivers got fairly fortunate there. We got Jake now up into P10, so Jake is moving up the racetrack quickly. He's having a pretty good race here. He's on a different strategy than every other driver, clearly, as he hit the pit lane after lap 1. Apex Superman here, sorry, lap 2. In P11, so Superman's starting to gain some time on track here as well. We got Apex Luke now in P12. Not sure what happened there. Falling back the grid just a little bit here, but he's on the move. We got GT45 here in P13 as well, trying to catch back up to Apex Luke. We got Heathen. Whoa. Not sure what happened there. Heathen apparently having some form of latency there. From what I could see, so yeah, everything's okay. He didn't actually smash into the wall, it just looked like he did. That was really bizarre. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, GT7 is still working out kinks, bugs, glitches in the game. It's only been around for about 4.5 months now, so they're still working on the multiplayer situation here. Hopefully they get it all sorted out very soon, just so the racing is that much better. That much better. Kawazuri sitting in P2, still trying to chase Rockcorp down. I mean, he's quick. Very, 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 very quick driver. But so is Kawazuri, so don't count Kawazuri out. And in third place is Badass. He's quick too, but Crazy Face is starting to pull in on Badass here. Now, remember, a lot of these drivers are on different tire compounds. They all have different strategies as well, ladies and gentlemen. So we're seeing a lot of these drivers on the hard racing tire here. We do have some on the softs. So Crazy Face is one of those drivers on the soft tires, and that's why we're seeing Crazy Face moving up the track so quickly, because he's just on the better tire compound compared to these hard tire drivers. However, that eventually is going to start to change around when those soft tires start to wear out. So, Anthony, how's it going, bud? Good. How about you, my man? All the way from Australia, coming with that big thumbs up. Much love, my guy. I hope you're doing well. Hope the day is fantastic. Hope the sun's shining. Hope everybody's just doing well today. We got Sparky Boomman here sitting in P5 as well. And he's just playing very patient here right now. Sparky's been doing very well in the series here, so he is definitely one of the drivers to look out for here today in today's race. And oh, we got it. We got Crazy Face going off the track there. So Larry Birch getting P5 out of that. Crazy Face has dropped down into P6. Now he has Anto starting to gain ground on him here. So is Anto going to be able to get the job done here on Crazy Face after Crazy Face just making a mistake coming in out of that sector into the hairpin? They're carrying a little too much speed, and they just got a little wide on him, and he ended up in that grass. So really unfortunate. And Anto is right there. He's in that slipstream. He's going to try and get up on him here so he can maybe potentially make a move coming into that final straightaway. This is a tough final corner here. The chicane is very, very tough chicane. You have to be a lot of throttle control and a lot of steering control there to really get the best exit around it here to get on the straightaway. And you can see Anto's really trying hard to get up in Crazy Face slipstream here, but it looks like Crazy Face has recovered fairly well from that. So moving up the field, we got LJ just losing position right here to Apex Jake. And yes, Jake is going to clear LJ there. So coming into T1, Jake's going to get the job done on LJ there. So LJ drops down a position to P9 here as well. So Apex Luke's now back up into P10 here. He's doing pretty good. We got Devin Calypso here in P11. We got GT45 and Superman all in a tow here. So a little battle developing here right at the back of the pack as well, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, each of these drivers is trying to get into the other driver's slipstream so they can potentially make a move. So let's just stick with this for a second. See if anybody closes up on anybody coming into the corner here. GT45 getting really, really wide there, and he's struggling there, so that should give Superman a run on him there. And Superman just tucks in behind, so game on by these three drivers back here. We'll keep our eye on that. We got Heathen in pit lane here. So we do have Rockcorp here, and he's trying to run away with this right now. He's got about an 8 to 9 second lead already currently on our second place driver, Kawazuri. So Rockcorp definitely has the pace in this Beetle. Hashtag Apex Racing, team of strong racers. Hey Pete, how you doing, my guy? Much love, much love. How's everybody doing out there? Loving to see everybody popping in for the races here today. Kawazuri sitting in P2. He is just absolutely trying to push to catch up to Rockcorp there. But again, difference in tires here. We see medium tires on our leader currently. We've got Kawazuri sitting on the racing hard tire, sitting in P2. So he has got actually great pace with that racing hard tire currently. We got Badass also sitting on the hard tire, sitting in P3. And he's got Sparky Boomman behind him in P4, also on the hard tire. So you definitely see a lot of drivers opting to start on that hard tire. We've got Larry Birch starting on medium tire here. We got Crazy we've seen starting on that soft. You can see how quickly them soft tires really are degrading. Doing good. Those guys perform great in GTRC. Yeah, they really do, don't they, Petey? Yeah, the great group of racers, those guys. Ton of respect between the group there, too. Anto in P7, and we just seen Anto in that race, as a matter of fact, broadcast earlier. So when I said in the other broadcast that we've been seeing Anto around, this is what I mean. He's over here in the OFR league as well, racing. So we do see Anto quite a bit on the racetrack, and we know that Anto does actually like this car too. So he should do well here today. We got Jake though starting to close in on Anto here in P8. So Jake is making time up, and you see Jake has opted to go on the medium tire from the hard in that first pit stop. So a little bit of strategy working out here. LJ in P9, he's not too far behind them guys, and LJ struggling a little bit. We know LJ is a quick driver, so we got Apex Luke here in P10. Calypso has started to open up the gap here on the other two guys here. So in P11, he's looking fairly comfortable there now in P11. The GT45 here in P12. He going super wide again into the corner. We got Superman here getting a much better line through that corner, so he's going to get a good run there on the driver in front. And he's looking like he, again, having some technical difficulties here. He's got the car in pit lane. So they are taking a look at that Volkswagen Beetle Group 3 race car currently, trying to source out whatever it is that's going on there. So we see Crazy Face and Anto now both also opting to make pit stops here. So they're making their first stop of the race. Now every driver will make at least 2 stops here, because again they do have to use all 3 racing tire compounds throughout the race. So 42 laps here today. We're at 11 of lap 42. We've already seen a couple of drivers come in for their first stop, so it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the drivers settle in to their own strategies. We have Larry Birch here in P5. We've got Jake in P6. We've got Ninja up into P7. Luke has now moved up into P8 thanks to those pit stops. Devin coming in P9, and we used to race against Devin in another series a little while back, so glad to see him on track here today too. It's been a while since I've been on track with Devin. We got Crazy Face here in P10, and you got to recover a little bit. We've seen him in a spin there. You see GT45 just behind there. We got Anto here in P12. We've got, Superman having a little bit of an issue there in P13. He's got Rockcorp coming around, so you just see him waiting, letting that driver get around, back on track and on his way. And again, that crew's still looking at Heathen's car. So we don't really have any immediate battles per se happening here on the racetrack, as everybody's kind of spread out right now. We have guys that are close, but we just don't have any real good battles happening. So let's jump on somebody and do an onboard. Let's jump on with Jake. Jake right now is our fastest mover on the racetrack here. So he pit very early on, was in the back of the pack, and in 11 laps has come back into P7 here. So we're going to do an onboard with Jake here. So enjoy, guys. I'm just going to shut the audio off for 1 second, rejuvenate the old vocals, and enjoy the sounds of GT7. You don't have any sound. Hold on, we're fixing. Okay, now you can enjoy the sounds. I apologize, chat. I didn't even notice. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies on the game audio missing there for a little bit. We have that all back up and running. There's an onboard with GVG Jake. Now, we opted to just go with him because, again, he's just been the quickest mover here on the racetrack so far. Let's get back through our field here and catch up with what's going on. So we do have Rockcorp again, and he's got a pretty sizable lead on Kawazuri there in P2. So it'll be interesting to see once these guys change up their tire compounds to see if they can close each other up or not. Kawazuri and Badass are starting to get closer together here, so Badass is starting to try and push on Kawazuri here a little bit. And doing pretty well there back in P3, starting to close the gap up ever so slightly on second place drivers Kawazuri here. Now again, both these drivers on the same compound of tire. You got Sparky Boomman here in P4 just behind these guys, and he's been doing really well in this championship series, so he's going to be looking for a good result here too. And you can see those guys are not out of sight for him. And then we got Larry Birch here in P5, so we got a little bit of a back marker in between there somehow, so probably just the driver that's made a pit stop. And Larry Birch coming around P5, you can see his tires are really starting to hurt. We got LJ coming around, his tires are looking really, really good still. And LJ in P6, so he's just ahead of Jake here. And these two drivers, let me tell you, are no strangers to racing each other, so... we're going to stick with these two just for a second as we got a little battle brewing here between friends. Now, Jake and LJ are friends outside of the racetrack. You know, these guys talk to each other a lot. They practice together a lot. But man, oh man, there's no love lost between these two on the racetrack. I assure you of that. These two race each other quite hard, and it's fun to watch. So we're about to see it here. You see Jake's really starting to close in on LJ. And you can see LJ made a mistake coming out of that corner, so he didn't really fight to try and hold that position. It was, as he knows, it's better not to cost extra time for no reason, so he just tucks back in. You're going to try and stay in Jake's slipstream here, and just try to get close back up on Jake. So a little bit unfortunate there for LJ, just making a small mistake coming around the corner there. And you see LJ getting a little bit squirrely around the final corner there too as well. So LJ maybe not enjoying the Beetle that much, it's hard to say. Got Apex Luke here in P8. He's doing pretty good. He's having a good recovery drive here so far. Crazy Face in P9. He's still recovering from that little bit of an incident in the midfield there early on in the race. We got Devin just behind him here in P10. And he's having a pretty good race here as well. GT45 is now up into P11 here. So he's gotten ahead of Anto. And now trying to chase... Actually, Anto's gotten back ahead of him, but Anto is a lap down. So GT's still ahead of Anto, but Anto has essentially unlapped him from the 11th place driver. Superman here in P13, and again, he's still struggling with that car. He's had some rough luck with race cars here in the last little while. So hopefully the team gets that sorted out and he can get that car back on track. We got Rockcorp here again. You can see the drivers behind are about a third of the way down that start-finish line straightaway when he's coming into T1, so he has opened a pretty significant gap. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, again, GT7 still struggling with some issues. They're working on it, but until they get all fixed, we continue racing. So the show goes on, ladies and gentlemen. Kawazuri here in P2. And I know for a fact from driving in this particular race on this past Sunday, there were definitely some issues going on in the lobby for some of the older console drivers, the PlayStation 4 drivers, and we are starting to see some of that on the screen here as well, actually. So we got Badass here in P3, we got Sparky in P4. Now Badass is starting to close in on Kawazuri here. But you can see Badass's fuel situation is starting to get a little iffy. We got Sparky here, same thing. Fuel's starting to get quite low there. Tires are in great shape. But, and there we go. So Rodcorp now being the leader coming in. There you can see those medium tires are in pretty rough shape. So he's going to be opting to obviously get some fresh rubber, fill some tires, get some fuel in the tank. We got Sparky's also coming in. He needs fuel. And Apex's Badass also needing fuel. Kawazuri opting to stay out for another lap, so going for the overcut here. We got Jake now moved up into P5, but you can see what Jake's situation is there as he comes smashing into pit lane there. We got Apex Luke coming around. Is he going to come into pit lane here? Yes, looks like every single driver is opting to come into pit lane here. See if Crazy Face opts to also go in. He doesn't need to. Crazy Face picked quite a bit earlier, so he can stay out. We're going to jump on board with Devin here, see if he opts to make a stop with the rest of the field. He's going to opt to stay out as well. We got Larry Birch in P9, who has just made a pit stop before this lap. LJ in P10, same thing. Anto has made a pit stop a little bit back. Ooh, and there's GT45 having a little spin action there. We got Superman getting his fuel right now, and they're still working on that car for Heathen. So Kawazuri has now opted to come into pit lane. So you see Rodcorp getting around GT45 with the GT45 having a spin there, and putting him a lap down there. So Rodcorp up the road, but holding a 3-second penalty there for pit lane infraction. Those pit lane infraction we've been seeing catching drivers all day long between the two leagues. And you can see GT45 catching up to him there, but GT45 Gaming not trying to opt to make the move on him there. Obviously, he's the leader, so just let him go. He's clearly got the pace. And Jake holding fastest lap on track currently here. So, great job by all our drivers. So far, you see Kawazuri filling up the tank here. Crazy Face coming up that start-finish line, so Crazy Face should take second place here. Badass coming around right now as well. Is Badass going to jump Kawazuri as well? No, Badass is going to come out in behind Kawazuri, but Crazy Face does jump Kawazuri there. So the overcut kind of not really working for Kawazuri there, as he did lose a couple of positions. So Apex Racing's Badass now in 4th place here. He is just behind Kawazuri coming out of pit lane. We got Sparky just coming out behind Badass there as well. We got Devin now up into P6, and he still has to make a stop, it looks like. We got Jake starting to close the gap up on Devin there. So Jake has made a stop. He's now on the soft compounded tires. So Jake is our first driver to clear all 3 compounds of tires here today. Larry Birch here, he is now on that racing hard tire as well. We got LJ here on the medium. Anto is on the hard tire. Luke is going to be making a move on Anto here right now, it looks like, as he's going around the outside. Tough pass here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, a little bit of contact there potentially between the two drivers. Hard to tell what happened there, as Luke didn't lose any momentum, so I'm not sure if that was just a little bit of a lag issue there, as Anto does drop back down into P11 there. GT45 in P12, we got Superman in P13, and Heathen still in the pit lane there. Really having a rough day here today. But to our leader, Rodcorp, ladies and gentlemen, he is absolutely putting on a clinic around Autopolis short here today. So, is anybody going to beat him? Can anybody catch him? He does have to go to a hard tire yet, ladies. He was on the medium and the soft so far. So, the leader does have to go to that slower compound tires somewhere towards the end of this race. We're halfway through the race once he starts the cross finish line here, so he is on his 21st lap of 42 laps here today, and you can see he's purple here right now. So Rodcorp does take that fastest lap away from Jake with a 106.772, and he's purple here. So let's see if he pulls this in even faster on this lap. Oh, he just missed it. He missed it in the final corners there. So still currently holding fastest lap on track, however, and he's got a very good gap on Kawazuri here in P2, who has just taken P2 from Crazy Face there. So a battle we just missed And Crazy Face trying to respond. In that slipstream, you see Badass just chilling in back behind there, allowing himself to catch up. You see Sparky doing the same thing. You see a little bit of braking there from Crazy Face back in behind there. You see a little bit of tire smoke there. So I think he was just trying to time that move, and he got tucked in a little too close too soon. He just tried to slow his car down a little bit to make the right move there, but just a little too much brakes as we've seen tire smoke rolling off the back of that Beetle there. And Kawasari maintaining second place due to it. So Crazy Face here in P3. We got Badass here in P4. We got Sparky Boomman here sitting in P5. We got Apex Jake in P6. Devin Calypso here is in P7. He's having a pretty good crack and race here himself. Larry Birch in P8. We got LJ in P9. Apex Luke's in P10. Anto in P11. GT45 in P12. Superman P13. And again, Heathen still in pit lane with that car. So those guys are working hard. Those guys are definitely working hard. So Rockcorp cruising up the road here. You can see he just got around Superman there as well. So he is definitely making some distance today. This guy is definitely showing he has some pretty darn good pace around Autopolis short. You can see he's purple there by 4/100ths of a second. So he's continuing to try and find those small amounts of time and to shore in that driving line around the racetrack here. Kawasari now getting around some lap traffic there, GT45 Gaming as well. And you can see Badass is now coming up to GT45 Gaming here as well. So he's going to have to navigate that lap traffic. So let's see how these guys handle it. You can see GT45 Gaming opts to stay outside, let these guys go by. He realizes there's a battle going on. And he just lays off these drivers, lets them all get by. As we see another one coming around there. We got Crazy Face coming around. We got Jake coming around. So there we go. Back marker letting all those guys through. Trying not to cost them any time there. We got Larry Birch at P8. We got LJ Super Ninja here in P9. We've got Apex Luke in P10. He's having a good race here. He's doing his best to recover after an early incident. Anto in P11. Again, GT45s we've seen just get passed by 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th place drivers there. And you see Superman now coming into pit lane here as well. And they're taking a look at his car as well here. So Beetle's struggling a little bit here at Autopolis short. Maybe they don't like the heat. We are seeing some extremely sunny conditions here on the racetrack today. So maybe some of these cars are just struggling, overheating a little bit. And you can see those crews working hard on trying to get these guys back out on the racetrack here. And we see Rockcorp now starting to catch up to Anto here. So, and again, now Anto in the blue flag situation here as the leader's coming to put him a lap down here. And you can see that just the amount of speed that Rockcorp is gaining on these drivers compared to their pace. You can see him just go around the inside of Anto there. You can see Anto just giving enough of a let off there to let him by nice and quick, not to lose himself any time either. And now the Rockcorp's going to definitely try and track down LJ there just up ahead. Kawasari sitting in P2. He's having a fantastic race here as well, ladies and gentlemen. Race week in, week in. Each week goes by, he just seems to get a little bit quicker and a little bit quicker and a little bit quicker, a little more comfortable. And the results have been showing as well in these races. So Badass in P3, again, a good solid racer here. He's doing everything he can to try and keep Kawasari in his sight here right now, as Kawasari's trying to lose him. Jake in P4, he's trying to chase Badass down. We got Sparky in P5 as well, and Sparky is right there on the back end of Jake. So Sparky looking to try and get something done for P4 here. We got Crazy Face in P6. Larry Birch in P7. Apex Luke in P8. Just great looking race cars, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely great looking stuff. LJ in P9. Anto in P10. Working that Beetle, working that Beetle. Got Devin in P11, and we see something going on here. What do we got? We got Larry. We got some lap traffic. That was Jake and Sparky Boomman getting around Devin there, and now we can see Crazy Face is starting to catch up to Devin as well. So Devin's starting to go a lap down here as well, as the front pack is starting to catch some of these slower pace drivers here today. Superman back out on track, so whatever issue Superman was having, they seem to have gotten sorted out, and he's coming back into pit lane here again. So a couple of drivers having some race car issues here today, which is really unfortunate, but unfortunately, that's the way it goes sometimes. Race cars break, that's just the way it goes. So Rockcorp here is very, very currently in command of this race. Lap 26 of 42 done, ladies and gentlemen. So as we are starting lap 27 here, you can see that he's just picking them up and knocking them down, picking them up and knocking them down. He's just lapping everybody. He's just on a platform of his own right now. He's just in his own little world. So he's flying. He is absolutely flying. Oh, we have it looked like LJ making a mistake there in behind, spinning out there. You can see the yellow flag in front of Calazuri here. So to stay on board, let's stay on with Calazuri here as he comes up to the situation here. It looks like the car that I'm pretty sure was LJ is back on track and moving here again. So Badass here trying to close in on Calazuri, but while Badass is trying to close in on Calazuri, Jake is starting to close in on Badass, and he's starting to pull a bit of a gap on Sparky here. So Sparky not having one of his better races here today, but maybe it's just strategy. We'll see. Crazy Face here coming around. You can see his fuel is starting to get pretty low. We got Larry Birch here as well. He's doing great in P7 here. Luke now back up into P8 again here, and again he's trying to have a recovery drive here. He's doing quite well in the standings, so he needs as many positions as he can possibly get here today. He's got Anto here in P9. LJ's dropped down to P10. There's Anto's gotten around LJ. Devin there in P11 with GT45 Gaming in P12. And Mr. Superman in P13. And boy, they're really working on that car. We may have a broken race car here, ladies and gentlemen. Really unfortunate to see. But we are with our leader here, and he's just coming around the final corner here. And is he going to pit is the big question here. His tires are starting to degrade a little bit. He's going to opt to stay out. So while he stays out, let's do an onboard with him. Whew, a little bit of contact there between Calazuri and LJ Super Ninja. No harm, no foul there as he's just trying to get around. So Calazuri coming around here into the final corners here in P2. Is he going to pit as well is the big question. I know he doesn't need to, so he's going to have to stay out. The big question is, does he get ahead of Rockcorp as Rockcorp's in for a pit stop here? And it seems like he does not. So Rockcorp not really taking any fuel there and just jumping on those hard tires. So clearly he has a very hard set strategy in his mind, and he's sticking to it. And it's been working for him as he is, again, in command of this race. But you can see Calazuri is just behind now. They're in the same shot. You got Apex's Jake right there, who's taking third place from Apex Racing's Badass. So Badass dropping down into P4 here. And then of course you still have Sparky right there too. Sparky has not left these guys alone all day long. He's just sitting back there in P5. Larry Birch in P6. Luke in P7. So now Luke's having a good race here. He's starting to make some time up here. He's starting to get those positions back. We got Crazy Face here. You can see he's getting that blue flag waved on him, as our leader is coming up behind him here. So lots of blue flag situations here today on Autopolis Short. And look at that line of traffic. We've got lead lap traffic mixed in with some lap down traffic right now. Things are getting a little bit spicy for the battle for positions up front here with all the mixed cars in the group here. So you can see Crazy Face has good pace. Rockcorp is having a hard time catching up to him to get around him here. So it's not that the drivers don't have pace, it's just the different pit strategies and everything going on has just changed up the whole complexity of the race here today. So and right now what we're seeing is Crazy Face isn't doing anything wrong at all, ladies and gentlemen. The leader has not caught up to them yet. So it's not up to him just to stop and give that position up, because the leader is half a mile behind the racetrack. Once that leader catches up to Crazy Face, then it'll be up to him to make sure that these guys can both navigate around safely. And it sounds like Rockcorp just had an incident, as Calazari has now taken the race lead. Badass is now in P2. And looks like actually both those drivers have just pit. So Rockcorp coming for one quick dash on the hard tire and off, and he'll be back on whichever tire it is that he chooses. If I had to suspect, probably a soft tire compound. Maybe the mediums will just push it out one more stint, I'm not sure. So Larry Birch is going to come around here. He's going to grab P3 from both those drivers as well. So a little bit of changing of positions here with pit stops. We got Calazari in P1. We've got Sparky now into P2. We've got Larry in P3. We've got Apex Luke, who's just coming around here in P4, but these guys should be coming out here soon. You see Badass is just coming out of pit lane. He's going to come in just behind Luke, so Luke does grab that P4 position. Badass in P5. Rockcorp comes out in P6. So Badass leapfrog and Rockcorp there. We got Jake in P7. We've got Crazy Face in P8. We've got LJ back up into P9 here. Anto is in P10. You see Devin is starting to gain on Anto here, so we have a potential battle brewing for P10 and P11 here as this race continues to progress. We're at lap 31 of 42, ladies and gentlemen, so we still have quite a few remaining laps in the race, so there's still lots that can happen here yet today. We do see a yellow flag, so somebody has had an incident on the racetrack here. We're not sure who that was. That might have been Super Ninjas. We just seen Super Ninja drop 2 positions there. It wasn't Ninja, so Ninja's going to come back into pit lane here. We got GT45 here. He's sitting in P12. Superman sitting in P13. And Heathen is, of course, race car has been having a severe issue. It's been in pit lane for most of the race here today. So really unfortunate for Apex Racing's Heathen there, as he's the crew's doing everything they can, but sometimes the race car has just got to go behind the wall, you know? It's really unfortunate there. We see Apex Luke dropping into pit lane there, and he was running on those medium tires, 21% fuel left in the tank, so probably just a splash and a quick tire change for him. We see Calazari now coming in for a pit stop. We got Sparky coming around. Is he going to opt in? Yes, Sparky comes in. All these drivers really going into pit lane quick and hard here. We got Larry in P3. He opted to stay out. So, now you can see he has not leapfrogged those 2 drivers yet. He's just coming up to start straight. So Larry looking like he's going to inherit P1 here, depending on where these 2 drivers come out of pit lane. And Larry will inherit P1 here. So Larry Birch now our new race leader, ladies and gentlemen, in that green number 27 Beetle. Calazari not too far behind in P2 here with Badass in tow, and Rockcorp just behind, and Jake just behind Rockcorp. So battle's starting to heat up a little bit here now, ladies and gentlemen, as these drivers are starting to close in on each other. We got Sparky in P6. Crazy Face is in P7. Luke is up into P8, and he's flying right now. He looks like he is locked in. We got Devin in P9. Devin's having a great race here as well. Anto in P10. LJ in P11. We got GT45 Gaming. You see him just getting fuel and tires there right now. Superman in P13. And again, Heathen there in pit lane. So Larry Birch is the man in charge here at the moment, but you see Larry now coming into pit lane. So let's jump on with Calzari and Badass. They're just coming around that final chicane, so they are going to take that position back from Larry Birch. Calzari is now going to take P1 back. Apex Badass is going to take P2, and Rockcorp in P3 just behind with Jake right on the doorstep here. So our top 4 drivers very, very close together here, within about 2.5 seconds apart from 1st to 4th place currently. We got Sparky just a little bit behind these guys, not too much. Larry, you can see he's just getting that fuel in that car right now, so is Crazy Face going to be able to grab position on Larry Birch here as he's coming around this final chicane. We see Apex Luke in tow as well, so let's just stick with these 2 drivers here as Crazy Face is just getting fuel in that car, so he's going to be coming out of that pit lane pretty quick here. And he does lose those 2 positions to Crazy Face and Apex Luke, so where is Devin? Devin is coming around that final chicane right now. Now, I believe that Devin should not get ahead here. I think Crazy Face should come out. And it looks like Crazy Face actually came out in front of Luke there. We just didn't see it on the screen for some reason. So Apex Luke in 8, Crazy Face just coming out ahead. Devin in P9 here. We got Anto in P10, LJ in P11. And you can see he's catching up to his teammate there. Both these drivers are having a tough race here today. And they're just putting in their paces, essentially. And Heathen has just had that car in pit lane for several laps now. Again, just super unfortunate that Heathen having those car difficulties. The crews do everything they can. They work so hard behind the scenes to have these cars ready for these drivers come race day, and sometimes they just don't work as planned. You know, it just happens. So Calzari in P1 here, but he has his work cut out for him. I mean, he's got Apex Racing's Badass right here. He's dealing with a little bit of lap traffic at the moment. So if Calzari could really get some rubber laid down here, he might be able to start to pull away from these drivers, as these guys got to navigate around Anto here. But you see Anto's going into pit lane, so that'll be easy for the rest of the drivers. Rockport coming around in P3. We got Jake in P4. Sparky in P5. You can see those top 5 drivers are not split by a whole ton here. And then we got our P6 driver, Larry Birch here. Crazy Face in P7, but you can see him and Luke are having a pretty cracking battle here, so let's stick with this for a minute, shall we? Got ourselves a nice little battle here. He is on the outside coming into the chicane. Not going to be an easy pass to make here, but might set up for an over-under situation here. And it was actually quite well defended by Crazy Face there. So Apex Luke just tucks in behind, and he's going to try and get the run on him here. He's going to go defensive, so Luke's going to take that outside line, but Luke should have the run on him here to be able to get into the corner first. He does not. It looks like Crazy Face is going to beat him to the inside part of that corner, but Luke's just going to be like, I don't need it. I got it. Outside move done. T1. Position gain. Apex Luke moving up into P7 on a great move on Apex Racing's Crazy Face there. So great battle between teammates there for position. Devin right there behind these guys. And absolutely doing a pretty good job himself here today in P9. We got LJ sitting here in P10. Anto is sitting in P11. We got GT45 here in P12. Superman in P13. Ooh, getting a little bit sideways there. He's just trying to get out of the way of some of the faster guys here. So great job by Superman there, just to let these guys race their race. But Calzari is the man. Everybody is chasing right now, currently on the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. So Calzari is the man set the pace. He's the man trying to hold that down. He's trying to bring home the big race win here today for round 7. So, I mean, let's see what happens here. We got Calzari in 1, Badass in 2, Rockcorp in 3, Jake in 4, and Sparky in 5. All 5 of these drivers are close enough to battle each other. You see Rockcorp is really starting to reel badass in here, so it's going to be interesting to see if he's got enough what it takes. We got 5 laps left, including the lap that they just started, so 6 laps remaining here in the race, so there is definitely time. There's definitely time. You see Jake here in P4. He's just trying to get caught back up with that battle for podium here. Sparky in P5, same thing for him. He's definitely looking for a podium finish here today. He's just got a little bit of distance he's got to make up here first. Larry Birch having a fantastic run here in P6. Apex Luke having a great run as well up here in P7. Great recovery drive from Luke there. Again, having a little bit of an early race incident, and he's having to drive back through the field here. So P7, very respectable comeback here for him as well. Crazy Face in P8. You've seen him have a spin very early on in the mid-sector there, and he's about, he really hasn't really been able to gain any position from P8. He's been jockeying a little bit, but it's been tough getting here for the drivers tonight in the Beetle race. Devin in P9. And he's just kind of all alone right now. He's just doing his thing. We got LJ right there as well. You just seen LJ getting passed by Luke. And LJ's putting his paces in. We got Anto here just putting his paces in. We got GT45 just putting his paces in. And we got Superman putting his paces in as well here. So all the drivers out there, they're just putting their licks in. And the battle is up front. So with that being said, let's get back up front here as we're down to 5 laps remaining, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see that the battle for podium is definitely up for grabs. We don't know who's going to finish where. We don't know anything yet. All these drivers are still pretty close together. One mistake could be all it takes for one of these drivers to completely lose a podium position here today. So Calazuri currently in the lead. Badass is trying to chase him down. Rockport is right there behind, trying to chase Badass down. And then Jake is just behind them, trying to chase those two down. And then Sparky Boomman just a little bit behind these guys. He's starting to lose a little bit of pace on that group, and you can see Larry Birch is starting to catch up. Maybe that wasn't Larry. That might have been another driver there in between a back marker. It is GT45, so it's a back marker in between. So we got Larry Birch, sitting in P6. I thought he was actually starting to put pressure there. We got Apex Luke in P7. We got Crazy Face in P8. And these are probably positions that we're not going to see change around, I don't think. It seems like there's quite a bit of separation between all the drivers here. And we got Superman getting a little bit wide there. So yeah, we're going to stick up front here with our top 5, 6 drivers here. As you can see, a car getting out of the way here as the lead lap guys are coming up on these guys here again. But Calazuri absolutely flying around this racetrack today. You can see Rockcorp is closed right up on Badass here. So he might be looking to grab a position here. Or are those two going to work together, push each other up a little bit, and try to catch up to that first place driver? Maybe have that 3-way potential battle for first place. We're going to have to watch to find out, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 40 of 42, we are getting very close to the end of this race. And Calazuri looking quite in control, but it's still 2 laps, still 2 laps to go. We're going to be on our penultimate lap here right now. As you come around, you can see it's getting quite dark out as well, ladies and gentlemen. So the sun's gone down. The track's starting to cool down. The drivers are on worn tires or on low fuel, and they definitely got some elements that they're battling with here very late in the race as well, ladies and gentlemen. So very easy to make a mistake. You can see how quickly it gets dark here at Autopolis, as the drivers have not only their lights on, but the endurance lights are also on these Beetles. So these guys have the track lit right up so they can see what's coming up ahead of them here. And Rockcorp is really starting to put the pressure on Badass here. Again, penultimate lap, ladies and gentlemen. So, you see Rockcorp making a little bit of a mistake there. That's going to give Badass a little bit of a run. Jake in 4th place. We got Sparky here in 5th. We are going to stick with this battle now, ladies and gentlemen. So we do have Calazuri trying to run away with this race in first place. He is absolutely doing everything he can here to keep those other 2 drivers away. And he's going to come around and take that white flag here, ladies and gentlemen. So Calazuri on the final lap of the race here tonight with Badass and Rockcorp and Jake and Sparky in tow. So let's see what happens here at the end of the race. Badass P2, Rockcorp P3, Jake P4, Sparky P5. All on that same line of racetrack here right now, just separated maybe by a second and a half apart from each other. So are we going to see any final lap heroics here tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Let's watch and find out. Looks like Calazuri, he's got a handle on this here. He's got the gap. He's just got to maintain here. Badass has a little bit more worrying to do here. He's got pressure from that P3 driver, Rockcourt, behind him there. So Badass has a little bit to worry about here as he's trying to reel in P1, but he also doesn't want to give up P2 in the process. Rockcourt also still holding fastest lap on track, now 106.291 as well, ladies and gentlemen. That's a quick lap. But Calazzari's looking quite in control here. Coming around that final corner, ladies and gentlemen, Calazzari is going to come away with today's race win. So congratulations to Calazzari. P1 here tonight at Autopolis short. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Badass is going to come across in a very close P2 with a great battle behind in Rockcorp in P3. Jake is going to take P4. You see Sparky just coming across the line in P5. We're going to jump on with Larry here as well. We have a couple of the back drivers there that are coming across right now as well. And P6 for Larry Birch. Great job by Larry. We got Luke, who was starting to reel him in, coming in P7 here. We're going to stick on with Crazy Faces. We've seen Calypso just come across the finish line, just ahead of Crazy Face there in P9. You see Anto coming P10. We see Crazy Face. He is going to come across in P8. So we got LJ still coming across here. GT45 Gaming is going to come across in P12. And LJ is going to come sliding across the finish line. And that is it. Apex Superman is going to finish P13. You see he ran out of fuel, so they're just fueling the car up. And they did get the car back out on track for him to finish the race here. So he did get out and at least get a couple of final laps in there. So great job by that crew to get that car out before the end of the race. And congratulations to all the drivers here. Again, 14 cars here today, ladies and gentlemen. 14 Beetles at the top of the short. Made for great racing, but clearly 6 of the drivers really had the pace here today. And Calazzari coming out just with the better strategy, coming out with the race win. It was enough for him to just do what he had to do. He edged out that race win by about 3 seconds. Badass from Rockcorp having a great battle for P2, P3. Right down to the finish line. Badass coming out ahead there with the P2 finish, and Rockcorp coming out with that P3 finish. Great job to all the drivers on track. It was just a fantastic race. We've seen some pretty good backmarker action from the guys doing the right things, and we've seen some great racing action, especially early on in the race. We had lots of side-by-sides going around the racetrack here. So a really great job here by the guys at OFR, week in and week out. Again, same thing. You know, these guys race their hearts out. They put on great racing. They put on great shows for the fans, for myself, and of course for them to watch later as well. They do enjoy seeing everything else that happened around them. Of course, as a race car driver, you're always curious of what happened around you, and in this case, they get to go and potentially find out what happened from, say, this driver or that driver. So fantastic stuff. And as you can see on the screen here, you can just see some of the aerial shots of Autopolis short here. It's really is a interesting race course. It's got a flow to it, and if you get the flow right, you can really just cruise around the track, put a big smile on your face, and really just enjoy it. It's a fun racetrack. It's got a couple of tricky sectors to it, but it's just got flow, and flowing racetracks always provide for great racing. So another great race here today, ladies and gentlemen. So 2 fantastic races. We had a 50-minute endurance race from our GTRC community here in the GR4 Silvia touring cars just before this one. And then, of course, we had the 1-make GR3 Beetle race here at Autopolis short for the second broadcast here. Both races were fantastic. Great job by both leagues. And same thing, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are interested, you want to get involved, you want to get on track with these guys, you want to test out, see how you fit against these guys, let us know, man. Hit us up. Drop a message in the comments, whether it be YouTube, Facebook. Hit us up on our Discords. Hit us up on the messengers. Hit us up on WhatsApp, Instagram, all the socials, guys. And we'll get you in the right spot. We'll get you hooked up with the right people, man. We'll get you guys locked in. We'll get you on track. We'll get you on camera, and we'll get you racing. Because, well, racing is fun, ladies and gentlemen. It's a really great thing. Big community bonding, lots of family time. And you know, these guys are build a brotherhood. It's quite amazing when you watch everything that happens behind the scenes throughout all the leagues that we represent here at GT45 Gaming. So huge shout out to the OFR boys again, sponsored by Apex Racing, ladies and gentlemen. So stepping up here this season. They're really pushing that team out there. They're really trying to make a name for themselves, and they're looking really strong out there. They're looking good. The cars look amazing. And again, just congratulations to all the drivers today. But you know, huge shout out to our podium finishers. It was a good tough race. It was a good race all the way to the end. But third place finishing Rock Corp, and then we had second place finisher Apex Racing's Badass, and first place finisher Kawazuri, ladies and gentlemen. So GG's to all those guys. And round 8 this Sunday. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, guys and gals. We'll be live broadcasting that for the OFR, and can't wait to see you all there. So thank you everybody for tuning in to start with. It's been a blast. I've had a lot of fun. I love seeing everybody coming in and saying hi, stopping in to check it out, and we're back. You know, GT45 Gaming's back. We're back to our programming. We're back to our regular scheduling, and just keep on keeping on, everybody. Stay winning. Obviously, the most important thing is that, you know, stay winning. Keep your head up high. Tomorrow's a new day. You never know what it's going to bring. You never know when an opportunity is going to knock. You just never know. So stay winning means keep your head high. Keep your head held high. And when I say that statement, that's what it means to me. And when I'm having a rough day, or if I'm having an off day, you know, I just run that through my mind. I just stay winning, dude. Just stay winning. It's okay. You know, it's all good. You can figure it out. So that's the mentality that we take moving through life, and of course moving through the page and the community, and we're building something pretty special here, and the sim racing community is something special. So appreciate everybody stopping. Thank you for smashing all the likes, all the shares, the new subs on YouTube, the new followers here on Facebook today. Absolutely, guys, just came in and crushing it for us here, as you do week in and week out, day in and day out. So we're going to shut the broadcast down here for now. We may go back live a little bit later tonight. I've got to get some race practice in so I can be prepared for tomorrow's race myself. And build a livery. I got to make a livery. But we may be back a little bit later tonight for you guys. We might run some open lobby racing on GT7 here tonight for a little bit. And maybe we'll do some COMS on some of those races too. You know, we'll just spice things up a little bit. But appreciate everybody, man, and all over the world. We have viewers from all over the world here today. We had them from Canada. We had them in here from the United States. We had them in here from Australia, from the UK, from Germany, from all over the world. We love to see that. We love to see you guys. I hope the weather is fantastic where you're at. I hope you're all well and safe. And just enjoy your days, your evenings, whatever the case may be. And we'll see you all again next time. I am your host, GT45 Gaming, and proudly sponsored by Apex Racing, OFR GT7 NA Division, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to leave you with that. I hope you enjoyed the races today. Please leave a comment below and let me know what you thought, good or bad. We do like the constructive criticism here at GT45 Gaming, because we just want to provide you the best broadcasting we can. And I love you guys, and we'll see you all very, very soon. So toodles!